Plus, 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to be.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
A busy day at the Supreme Court. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. The High Court putting limits on the power of lower court judges to issue nationwide opinions.
Nationwide injunctions, or universal injunctions, likely exceed the equitable authority Congress has granted federal courts. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett writes in a 6-3 opinion. The challenge came from rulings from district court judges blocking an executive order from President Trump intended to end birthright citizenship of children born to parents in the country illegally. But Barrett says the issue of birthright citizenship is not before the court, leaving that question open. In a dissent, Justice Sonia Sotomayor warns without universal injunctions, no right is safe. Writing absent cumbersome class action litigation, courts cannot completely stop plainly unlawful policies. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
President Trump argued these injunctions were an abuse of power.
It was a grave threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation.
The court saying Maryland parents can pull their kids from public school lessons that use LGBTQ books.
This brought together a coalition of parents of different religious faiths and backgrounds who said there used to be a rule in this particular school district that would let them know when there were books that dealt with issues that may be in conflict with their religious faith. Well, so many parents were opting out that the school board and the school district quit doing it. Well, 6-3 today in a decision by Justice Alito, they said these parents have earned at least a preliminary injunction. So while this case plays out, they said the board has to notify them about a book that's in question or anything similar so that their kids can be excused if it's in conflict with their faith. The dissent by Justice Sotomayor, joined by Justices Kagan and Jackson, says today's ruling threatens the essence of public education.
Fox's Shannon Bream reporting from the Supreme Court. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm still going.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
No adults around. A 12-year-old boy dead in an accidental shooting. Rain and thunderstorms moving into northwestern Indiana, and the possibility you could get some of that this afternoon. 91 is the current temperature downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 3:02. A 12-year-old boy dead in what police say was an accidental shooting. Jarrett Lewis reports.
The shooting happening early Friday morning at an apartment in Cumberland. Police responded to the residence just after 1 a.m. and found a 12-year-old boy in critical condition with a gunshot wound. He was transported to an Indianapolis hospital where he was pronounced dead. Police have since identified the boy as Jeremiah Cotton. Investigators say the boy was in the apartment with other young people and no adults present when he picked up the firearm and accidentally shot himself. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office will review the case.
Heat and humidity hang tough today, but National Weather Service forecaster Greg Mello says relief is on the way next week.
Tuesday and Wednesday, we will have a weak frontal boundary that moves through the area, so we will cool down into the mid-80s, but the big difference that we will feel is the lower dew points. So we will have dew points in the 60s. Still going to be humid.
Mello says some spots could see heavy rain, lightning, and strong winds today. Not everybody will get a storm, but a few showers might hang around into the evening. All of the victims survived, but a 16-year-old's freedom may be over for a while. That 16-year-old, Terrell Andrews of Indianapolis, is charged as an adult in the shooting that happened about 1:45 Monday morning on Monument Circle in downtown Indy, where 3 people were shot, but all survived. Police say technology helped them catch Andrews. Surveillance cameras caught his image as he walked away from the circle. In Fort Wayne, a Panera Bread has been ordered to pay Angela Frost $1 million for allowing ice to build up, causing her to slip and break her arm in January of 23. Frost's lawyers say Panera originally offered to settle for $125,000, and she declined. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Mad Bear.
All right, Chris, looking at southbound 6570, that off-ramp, that local ramp to Michigan Street is jacked up right now because of a crash at southbound 6570 near Michigan Street. And right after that, we have a stall as you try to make the peel off in the collector. Southbound 6570 south of Washington. This adds to our construction delay. Southbound 6570 of jam traffic from the north split to the south split. Eastbound 70 slow to downtown. It's hard again to the south split. At east side southbound 465 stop and go traffic after Penn Pike to I-74. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push to talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at code rapidradios.com. Use code radio for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hot and humid once again today. We'll see a spotty afternoon shower or thunderstorm. 92 today with feels like temps into the triple digits. That heat advisory expires at 8 p.m. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
So I got a text from one Mr. Jeff Boggs earlier today, who happens to be filling in for Hammer. He is a lifelong Hoosier, moved to New York, was a writer on the Letterman show for many years, moved out to L.A., writer and producer out there for many different television shows.
And badminton champion at Indiana University.
And badminton champion, which I just found that out this week, right?
Yeah, I brought it up.
What a revelation.
It's
Why
official.
Would you keep that to yourself, Jeff?
It's official. So
you can find him on social media at Not Kenny Rogers. He's a big, huge follow. But I got this text, and I feel pretty cool when I just get a text from Jeff by himself. It's usually Jeff and Hammer and me on the same thread, because it was originally you and Hammer kind of hooked up, made the connection.
Well, you didn't talk to me for the first 2 months, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right, probably.
Okay.
That's I keep to myself.
I understand.
The text. I want to go over the substance of this text that you sent me.
Now I'm nervous. I don't remember what this text is.
No, this is from earlier today. Trump just swept the Supreme Court rulings, and the NASDAQ and S&P 500 just hit all-time highs. Add in the Iran victory, and what a freaking week for America and or Donald Trump. Those are some big things. Should we start with the Supreme Court? Should we get into this? I don't want to get into the weeds and like all this stuff.
Yeah, it was a big day. The rulings, for the most part, came down in favor of the Trump administration and America.
Yeah, it was a big day for rulings. This is
right.
I think they're getting ready to go to break or something like that.
Right. Yesterday was a big day, too, because the Supreme Court said, hey, Medicaid funds can't go to Planned Parenthood.
Right.
So that was a big deal for conservatives. And then today...
Hey, let me... Hold on. Just let's not gloss over that. I saw this headline, this side note. You're talking about the Supreme Court allowing South Carolina to defund Planned Parenthood, right?
Well, South Carolina and now every other
state can do it.
Right.
I saw this stat. Abortions continuing to rise in 2024 despite the state bans. So there were about 1.14 million abortions in 2024 compared with 1.06 in 2023. Now, I was under the impression that when Roe v. Wade was overturned, Jeff, I thought the abortions were done and the states were going to ban all abortions, and I thought There was hysteria. There were protests. There were demonstrations. There were violence at crisis pregnancy centers.
Yep.
Which help women in that situation. And you're telling me abortions are up?
Well, I think actually, if you do want to get in the weeds on that, I believe that Plan B, which has become very popular,
the pill?
Yeah, I think that's factored into those numbers. Somebody can double check me on that, but I believe those are factored into those numbers, possibly.
Well, that's an abortion is abortion.
Right, exactly. It's the ending of a human life. So yesterday, I think that it was, it was so exciting to see the Supreme Court. I believe it was 6-3 was the ruling. It wasn't 5-4. It was 6-3. And it goes right back to the question, hey, Planned Parenthood, you've said, well, listen, we do a lot more than just abortions. I mean, that's only 3% of what we do. All right, well, you're not going to get funded anymore, so let's see you try to support yourself. That's why they're up in arms, because obviously that's how they make their money.
There was a decision to uphold the ban on sex change procedures for Tennessee minors in Tennessee,
right?
From SCOTUS, which is a huge win. Which is, look, you want to have sex change, fine. You want to take hormone therapy, you want to blockers, whatever,
right?
But just don't do it to kids,
right?
That's the whole thing. So that was a huge win.
I think most of us agree. I still think that's one of the most ridiculous topics of the last few years. I almost feel like it's a psyop, because I think 90% of the country is like, yeah, we agree. Yet it takes up 100% of the social media posts. But yeah, that was a big win. And then piggyback on that one, if you just want to, that schools now, the Supreme Court ruled today, hey, schools, you can't force kids to, have to have book hours teaching alternative things.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, no, it was a massive one. So now your kids, they were saying your kid has to be in school and listening to that and being taught that. The Supreme Court came down today and said, well, no, I mean, it's the parent's decision to do that.
Imagine that.
Yeah, where it gets interesting, and this is why it's kind of a middle finger to the liberals, is like, oh, and by the way, if they opt out, you're going to have to fund what they're going to be doing other than that. So obviously school districts won't be able to handle that, which means stop teaching that crap to kids.
And then today, the Supreme Court ended the abuse of these injunctions, like this. They call it judicial supremacy, and again, we don't have to get into the weeds of birthright citizenship and the 14th Amendment,
right.
But it basically said another 6-3 ruling that said, like, lower courts can't simply just issue these nationwide injunctions. Like when Trump signed that executive order about birthright citizenship for illegals, some random nobody judge said, nope, going to stop that, and it's nationwide. And that's a huge, huge deal. The story here is not the birthright. I don't think they ruled on the 14th Amendment or the birthright citizenship aspect of this. I think it was more, these judges can't just simply issue nationwide injunctions.
Which is, to your point, it's a bigger story than just birthright citizenship.
Sure.
Because look at what's been happening. I mean, this has affected everything from Iran to border crossings to anything. 80 million people voted for Donald Trump. And like you said, there's some judge in the 9th District who's like, my feelings were hurt by that, so I'm going to overturn it. The Supreme Court said today we have to stop doing that. Elections have consequences, and this is now a huge moment, not only for birthright citizenship, but for every other facet of the government. I think Trump now feels emboldened to push more of his policies through, which is great.
Well, look, I mean, look at the ceasefire in Gaza, in Israel. There's drips and drabs there. Who knows how long that'll last?
It's lasted a week so far. This is great.
Yeah, the peace deal in Iran and Israel.
Yep.
Not to mention the bunker busters that took out a bunch of nuclear facilities.
I have a question. So if that was World War III, World War III happened in a couple days. Everyone was saying it's going to be World War III.
Oh, yeah.
So far, the stock market went up, oil prices went down. So my question is, for World War IV, can it please fill in all the potholes and fix country music? That would be great. Good things are happening.
You forget about the Pakistan-India peace deal that Trump brokered.
Oh, that was weeks ago.
He's got like the Congo and the Rwandans in the White House today. So you texted me. I don't know about this.
What?
This other text that you sent me. You remind me?
They weren't the tastefully done nudes, were they?
No, you showed me the mermaid pictures.
Yes.
I saw those.
Okay.
You texted me, is this the greatest week ever for a U.S. president?
That's a great question, whoever asked you that.
You asked
I did.
me.
Okay, yeah. I think there is a possibility. All right, you have to go to the big moments. Of course, everyone's going to say World War II or the Emancipation Proclamation. Those were great. Those were wonderful. But in the calendar week, Trump took away all of Iran's nuclear weapons. He just basically swept the Supreme Court decisions.
Yeah.
The stock market hit an all-time high today, and things are looking pretty good for the bad orange man right now.
I mean, Reagan ending the Soviet Union.
That was over time. That was over
he
time.
may have, tear down that wall kind of thing.
Yeah, but what did that get us? That got us David Hasselhoff on the Berlin Wall singing.
You're saying in the span of a week, this is
incredible.
Well, Truman ending World War II, that involved a couple nukes.
It did over a couple days.
Yeah.
So you're saying there were some hiccups?
Well, for Japan, yes.
Okay, so Nigel would have been in favor of a ground war in Tokyo. So go ahead and mark that down.
Okay, mark that down. Mark the tape. Let's go to Matt Bear in traffic. What's going on, buddy?
All right, southbound 6570 crash on the exit ramp to Michigan Street. This is the collector ramp, the local ramp. And man, is it backed things up. We are back to the north split right now because of that crash. Exit lane partially blocked right now. Also, fuel spill reported. East side southbound 465 stop and go traffic. Penn Pike 274 an 11-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slows to the south split from Belmont. And inbound 69 slow from 106th Street 282nd. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage for a limited time. Get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code radio for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Well, Bill Clinton's first week with Monica Lewinsky, that might actually be the number one of all time.
That was your comeback during the Matt Bear hit. You're ripping on Bill Clinton and the beautiful, wonderful Monica Lewinsky.
We all know that you used to date Monica Lewinsky.
No,
so
allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly.
It is, it's 91 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Jeff Boggs, filling in for Hammer, had a very big problem with something I said on the air yesterday, and we'll get to that next.
General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
For service today?
Today.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Jeff Boggs filling in for Hammer at Not Kenny Rogers. You can find him on the Twitter feed as well. The YouTube feed. And that's where I saw you posting yesterday about something I said you were upset with. Jeff, you were upset with me wishing my hairstylist, my barber, Jenny, sweet Miss Jenny, young gal. She's when I say sweet Miss Jenny, she's not like an old lady. She's got her own little salon there at the corner of First and Cedar in Zionsville.
Here we go. You're promoting again,
ladies and it's a small business. And for some reason I wished her a happy birthday, and then I'm getting an influx of I didn't even know if you were being serious or not. I go, Jeff can't be serious with what he's saying.
I was livid. Right, I was livid. And you know why? Do you want to know why, Nigel? Because there's tens of thousands of people out there listening right now who are working hard every day. They're breaking their backs every day.
I know.
Doing a 9 to 5. They're out there just humping it, in this heat, just really doing what they can to pay the bills.
Agreed.
And here you are mentioning your hairstylist in hopes of, and you know this, in hopes of getting free haircuts in the future.
No.
Everyone knows that's why you're doing it.
Oh, no.
Everyone knows that's why you're doing it. And
that's so you're projecting.
No, I'm not.
You're projecting. You're saying this is what because you mentioned something about where like Bubba's Wings or something like that.
Well, I was going to say
you first of all, you do the same thing.
No, I don't.
And I'm not allowed to do that. It's not. It's called. It's called plug and there's a radio term for it. I forget.
It's almost like payola back in the day.
Yeah, plugola, payola. Except I'm not getting anything for free. I would never accept anything for free. It's a small business. I'm not. Jenny would never. She would never offer that, and I would never ask for that. I love her to death. My family goes to her.
There's no part of you in your brain though that's going, maybe she'll give us a discount in the future.
I don't need. Jeff, I don't need a discount.
We know because you're very wealthy.
I do very well. We have dual incomes.
Okay.
It's a dual income family. My wife does very well. I do well.
Okay.
I don't need a discount from Ladies and Gents Spa at First and Cedar in Zionsville.
I'm going to bring up really quick.
Okay.
I was watching the YouTube feed. And I noticed that if anybody goes and watches this back, Hammer's about to go to break, and you start waving him down. And I'm like, what? I've never seen Nige do that. And you're waving him down like you're working at the airport, like you're bringing the jet in. So
because I had forgot to mention what I was supposed to mention there.
Okay, listen, let's agree to disagree on this. I will say I think it was in poor taste for you to do that.
Poor taste to say happy birthday to a woman that treats my family very well and as good as what she does.
In hopes of getting some type of maybe discount or free products or something.
Not for me.
But I'll tell you what's not in poor taste, Nigel. What's not in poor taste is the Bubba's 33 delicious 12-piece boneless wings combo. Only $13.99. Bubba's and Fisher's. Bubba's 33 and Fisher's. Make sure to go there.
We're going to get in now you're treading in territory.
I go to Bubba's all the time.
But that's a big... Is it a franchise restaurant?
I don't know. I just enjoy their wings. But you notice I did it in the body of a conversation. I wasn't waving you down saying, oh, before I forget, thanks to the Zionsville hair salon, whatever you get done. But I just thought it was in poor taste. Obviously, I wasn't the only. Obviously, I wasn't the only one.
To wish my friend happy birthday, which I don't even know if my boss. I think David doesn't like it when we wish people happy birthday. But I think. I don't think I was out of line at all. I would never. I don't think she would offer a free haircut, and I certainly wouldn't expect a free. I don't need a discount on a haircut. Okay, I need a discount on a car.
Here we go. This
SUV.
Is okay. Now you're going to start talking about Tom Wood Ford. It's like, boy, those sure got some nice cars on the lot.
Radio personalities in this building that have car deals that I don't.
Nigel,
that's where we can start getting down. That's where we can start rocking and rolling.
It was 95 degrees 2 days ago.
Yes.
I was outside trying to replace my own car battery. You don't see me on here saying, oh, hey, somebody, give me something for free.
How would you?
Look at me, I'm Nigel.
Do you even know how to replace a car battery?
What are you talking? I worked at Shell for 3 years. What are you talking about? I can plug a tire. I can change oil.
You work behind the counter.
But I also plugged tires. People drove in. They had a nail in the tire. I got out there.
You did?
Yes, I reamed it and put the goop. I put the goop on the thing and put it in. We would charge $15 unless it was late, and then I charged $25 and pocket 10.
Allison, did we do a week that was? Have we done that?
My weekend recap.
Yeah, have we not done that? Are we going to do that this week? Because that ream and goo, I think.
Ream and goo.
I may have to put that one in for next week.
Okay.
Oh, do we also have the hit from Tuesday where I said, Nigel, I know you're pro-Iran. So just imagine
that was, I believe, the end of this segment. That's what our audience was left with. Nigel is pro-Iran. It's the Hammer Nigel show. Okay.
It's fine. I'm not mad at you for real. I just thought it was awkward because we all know you don't need free haircuts. So
it's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coating and their transformation, like your neighbor Mike.
Well, the local company that we used first was highly recommended by people in our neighborhood. We did not know until after it didn't work on our floor. It just healed up like a cheap suit. And so my wife says, we got to do something. And so she started looking around on the internet, and she found Galaxy.
Lots of styles to choose from, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
We got Galaxy out here. They got here at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and they finished up at 6 o'clock that night. Other than having a beautiful garage floor, you couldn't tell they were here. Just did a wonderful job on it.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings works for any area like patios, garage floors, driveways, and around pools.
Still looks fantastic, and anybody that visits our house, that's all they want to talk about. I mean, they just can't believe how nice the garage floor looks.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook, GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com. We are out of this world.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP $105,195. Nautilus MSRP $60,195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Several reasons for him to say it's a win. A cluster of storms is moving in from the northwest. It may take it a little while for it to get here. 91 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. President Trump is praising a ruling from the Supreme Court limiting lower court judges from issuing nationwide ruling. Fox's Jared Halpern from D.C.
President Trump says the Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law.
Radical left judges effectively tried to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting the policies that they voted for in record numbers.
In a 6-3 opinion, Justice Amy Coney Barrett says district court judges are likely exceeding their authority by issuing nationwide rulings. The case comes from a challenge to President Trump's executive order eliminating birthright citizenship. Justices did not consider the constitutionality of that order. Attorney General Pam Bondi expects the court to take up the merits of that challenge in the fall. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Now, Chad Pergram on the big, beautiful bill and some modifications.
They're rushing to rewrite the bill, and senators are getting frustrated. But senators are not willing to begin debate until the bill is finished. One of the biggest problems is the reduction for state and local taxes in high-tax states. The Senate dropped from the bill a provision barring illegal immigrants from receiving Medicare and Medicaid benefits. Also, a carve-out on taxing the endowments of religious schools. House Republicans are not ready to accept whatever the Senate approves. Now, the earliest the Senate may pass the bill is Sunday night or Monday. The House will give its members 48 hours to return to D.C. before voting.
Jeanette Cruz sums up some new laws that start Tuesday.
Get ready for some changes. Dozens of new laws passed by state lawmakers go into effect on July 1st. Among them, foster parents will have expanded legal rights to be heard in court, and retirement benefits are increasing for police, firefighters, and emergency personnel. Other notable changes include enhanced penalties for dealing drugs near rehab centers, a new law making it a crime to distribute intimate images without consent, and expanded in-state tuition eligibility for direct family members of returning veterans. These new measures aim to impact various aspects of the Hoosier life, from property safety to education. Jeanette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Feeling like you've lost a step? You're not alone. After 35, most men start losing free testosterone, the hormone that helps you stay lean, strong, and energized. But now there's a game-changing solution. Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster from the #1 brand in America. Nugenix Total T2 is packed with even more man-boosting power, and it works fast. With a powerful nitric oxide booster, it sends your energy and performance levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours. That's right, just 3 hours to to start feeling like your old self again. For a limited time, you could try it for yourself absolutely free. Text now to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC. But that's not all. When you send us a text, we'll also include a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever. Feel stronger, leaner, more driven. Text CASH to 369-369 now. That's CASH to 369-369. Text CASH to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, checking out downtown. Of course, we have the construction delay running southbound 6570 from the north split to the south split. And just to the west of that delay is the collector ramp. And there's a crash on that. Fuel spill reported. It's right around Michigan Street. The ramp is open. It is partially blocked. And it is stuffy right now. So it's going to take some time entering into downtown from southbound 6570. Eastbound 70 delayed 7 minutes. Belmont into the south split. Crash Lawrence Penn Pike between 56 and Sunnyside Road. Crash on the south side, Southport Road at Shelbyville Road. On the east side, southbound 465 stop traffic from 70 down to Washington Street. South side, eastbound 465 stop and go 31 over to Emerson Avenue. And a crash on the north side. It's westbound 465 after Michigan Road. It's in the middle of the interstate, slowing us back to Meridian Street for a 6-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by B-Window. Right now, B-Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hot and humid once again today. We'll see a spotty afternoon shower or thunderstorm. 92 today with feels like temps into the triple digits. That heat advisory expires at 8 p.m. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Listen to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Jeff Boggs filling in for Hammer. I'm Nigel. Jeff is a longtime writer on the Letterman Show. Moved to L.A. for a couple of decades. Was a producer out there for TV shows. Lifelong Hoosier, though. He is filling in. Did you? But you were a graduate of IU.
I was a graduate of IU. Yes, Indiana University sports communication degree.
Okay. And Allison, did you graduate college?
I did. I went to Anderson University.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
For years, I even being able to work in this industry as long as I have, and as grateful as I am, I don't have a college degree, and for years it's like I don't know. Everyone has a college degree, and I'm insecure about it.
Oh,
and I just saw these new numbers out about college grads, and I'm like, well, okay. Maybe it's not so bad for me to not have a college degree and being, and operating in an industry where I have been for a long time.
You have a top-rated radio show with your name in it, so
yes.
I wouldn't be that embarrassed.
But this thing, man, is crazy. Young college graduates facing a tough job market with the highest unemployment rate in over a decade for those aged 22 to 27. So if you're a college grad, 22 to 27, it's at the highest in a decade in terms of unemployment rates for you. They're saying, I don't know, stuff with uncertainty about the economics in this country, and the stuff about AI on entry-level positions is what's going on here. So now the U.S. unemployment rate, Boggs, low, 4.2%. It's been lower, but there's job gains in certain sectors. Hospitality, healthcare, I think, is always going to be. But man, college grads have seen limited growth, and I'm just wondering, what that's a scary prospect if you're just getting out of college.
Well, especially with the price now of colleges, it's so astronomical. I remember when I graduated from IU, I had a $57,000 student loan. The only possible way I would have gone to college is by taking out Stafford loans every year. $4,000 a semester.
What's Stafford loan?
Stafford loan, which was I think $4,000 per semester, and then I had to get a supplementary loan that was not guaranteed. Like most people, no clue how I was going to repay it. I just knew that I wanted to get, this is the 90s, so I wanted to have a college degree because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was willing to throw caution to the wind for that. Today, I just can't imagine somebody going to NYU or to Notre Dame or somewhere and saying, $125,000. I'll figure out a way to pay. And now that Joe Biden, when he promised them they didn't have to pay it back, and now they do.
Yeah,
I think people are panicked.
But there's certain degrees you can go and be confident that you'll find, like finance. I think is probably a solid.
I think finance is very solid. Finance is almost like a trade school where there's going to be placement. If you look in the want ads, CPAs, any type of financial. Also nursing, my goodness. I mean, if you get a nursing degree, first of all, you can live wherever you want.
Travel nurse.
Travel nurse is ridiculous.
Even more.
Yeah. Teaching, secondary education is always good. It's the things that people actually...
You ain't getting rich.
You're not getting rich, but you'll have a job. I think you get into trouble when you have degrees like, transgender literature. And you graduate with that, and you type into Indeed.com transgender literature jobs.
A general liberal arts degree,
or Renaissance, Renaissance novels. Oh, that doesn't really.
But are companies emphasizing AI over human hiring?
But what does that mean?
Concern.
What does it mean, AI? Are you talking about, are companies saying, instead of hiring that person to do the job, we'll have an AI computer do the job?
Yeah, but in IT specifically.
Yeah. I mean,
you have these giant data centers that are going in all over the place.
Yeah.
But I felt very insecure for a long number of years. I got out of school, 94. I didn't even go. No, I went straight to Ball State, lasted a semester because I was already in radio. I was driving back and forth to do radio from Muncie to Indianapolis every other night.
Was that 30? You take 31 up to Muncie?
69.
69, okay. So you're driving
onto Benford Boulevard, and I'd go to WXIR, the Christian radio station, Love 98.
So you're driving up 69 in your Ferrari, going, "What am I going to do with my life?"
My red Chevy Beretta.
Okay,
thank you.
I'd say it turned out just great for you, Nigel.
I mean, it did, but what if it all ends tomorrow? What am I going to do? I'm back on the loading docks, man.
Well, just be careful with what you say.
There was another email sent out about that today. You know what was fascinating to me is when I moved back from doing radio in Austin. Mm-hmm. My wife already had a job. She had her old job back. She wanted to come back and start a family.
How long were you in Austin for?
2007 to 2009.
Okay.
She worked at Monarch Beverage. She was a DM there, district manager, and she had and I thought I was going to be able to come back here and get a job because I was such a star.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a big star from 99 to 2007 when I left, and it turns out nobody remembered me and nobody cared that I'd left.
Yeah, I know that. I know that feeling. I know that feeling right now.
So my buddy hired me to run his third-party logistics company, and I go, Dustin, what are you talking about? I don't know anything about logistics. I've been in radio my whole life. He goes, I don't want you to know anything about logistics. Oh. I want you to do it. I'm going to teach you in 2 weeks. I'm going to teach you the way I want you to do it. I don't want somebody coming in here that already knows their way around third-party logistics. I'm going to teach you the way I want it done.
Okay.
And within a month, I was rolling.
Really?
And that was my job for a number of years. Still working part-time in and out of radio until I got this gig.
Oh, wow.
Until I met Hammer, we did the podcast.
What a good friend.
Like you, really good friend. I saw him the other day.
That's like a real friend, like somebody who.
But it went to another level, Jeff, because I didn't want to let him down.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wasn't some lazy. It's just like, I got this gig now. I can just, my buddy's running the company. I wanted to do well.
Well, there's an effort gap in the workplace right now where a lot of the new people who are getting hired feel so entitled. So somebody like you who was thankful to get a job and is now going to excel because you knew at that point what a break that was. And so good for you for coming through.
It was a big break for me, and it ultimately, everything led to this where we are right now with the Hammer and Nigel show. But the fact that I don't have a college degree and the fact that these numbers, again, let me repeat that. The unemployment rate is the highest in a decade for college grads for those 22 to 27.
Wow.
That worries me. And you mentioned trade schools.
Yeah.
The trades are important.
Sure.
HVAC, mechanic, stuff I can't even imagine right now.
People used to make fun of that almost in a way like the rich folk used to make fun of it. Nobody's making fun anymore.
Hell no.
So
I always treat everybody that comes to my house with I remember during COVID, like I would pull up to McDonald's and I'd order, those people were still working. They were coming to work physically. They were, and I'd like want to shake their hand and I said, thank you for your service. Like they just got back from Afghanistan.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah,
to the McDonald's,
because during COVID, like nobody was going out, but these guys were still out there making a living.
I was still going to McDonald's.
You were still going to McDonald's, which there was did we talk about the boycott Tuesday when you were here?
We did. I talked about how I was there. There was no boycott. Then I made a joke about Mayor McCheese saying death to America. Nobody laughed and we moved on.
Okay, it's the Hammer and Nigel show. We'll be back.
Hey, Matt Bear here for Trajan Wealth. When I met with Trajan Wealth for the first time, I got straight talk, no sales pitch. I left that meeting surprised about how solid I felt about my financial future, and I've really struggled in that department. I like how Jeff, my downtown guy at Trajan, really made that effort to get to know me instead of selling me. It provided a feeling of security, and you can have the same by scheduling your first appointment. It's free. Trajan Wealth, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan is a fiduciary, so their advice is built around what's best for you. I spotted the difference. Now I'm a client. Call Trajan Wealth today to learn more about their individualized approach to retirement planning. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
The deals at Andy Moore Ford continue. We're talking about that employee pricing. Employee pricing at Andy Moore Ford across a full lineup of your favorite trucks and SUVs. That's right. You pay what they pay at Andy Moore Ford. Get $17,000 off MSRP on new 2024 F-150s or buy a new Ford Super Duty truck for under $40,000. 175 different trucks to choose from. And if you're looking to sell or trade your current vehicle, the time has never been better. Every vehicle comes with $500 in Andy Moore cash and $2,500 more for your trade. Plus, drive with no payments all summer long. Talk to Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Find out how easy it is to get your new car, truck, SUV, or fleet vehicle at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield or online at Andy Moore Ford. That's M-O-H-R. I love Andy. AndyMooreFord.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
The Depot presents Freedom Fest at Depot Street Park in Greenfield this Saturday, featuring Smash Mouth.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
Enjoy the beer garden, food vendors, and Smash Mouth with special guests, That 90s Band and Reveal. Free admission this Saturday, and bring your lawn chairs.
So don't delay, act now, supplies are running out.
The gates open at 2 p.m. at Depot Street Park in Greenfield.
You might as well be walking on the sun.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
Celebrate the 4th with the whole family at Downtown Indy's 4th Fest, presented by UA Local 440. Join us on Friday, July 4th at the Indiana War Memorial for an evening of fun, music, and fireworks for all ages. Details at WIBC.com.
Matt Bear, what's up with traffic?
All right, Nigel, looking on the south side crash, Southport Road at Shelbyville Road. Also on the north side, westbound 465 after Michigan Road. That is a crash blocking 2 right lanes, jamming us up back to Meridian. 31 delays at 26 minutes. Eastbound 465 at Allisonville Road, a breakdown blocking the right lane. Stop and go traffic to Keystone for a 6-minute delay. Crash clear on the collector of southbound 6570. Now we still have the construction delay on the main part from the north split down to the south split and eastbound 70 grinding into the south split from Belmont. That's a delay of 5 minutes. Crash Lawrence Pendleton Pike between East 56 and Sunnyside Road. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Ooh-wee, 91 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center on 93 WIBC. Nigel here with David Boggs filling in. David Boggs.
Jeff Boggs, everybody.
What did I call you did I call you Ashley?
You called me Ashley
the
twice.
other day? You know why I called you David Boggs? Because a guy named David Becks on the YouTube chat.
Yeah.
Here you can type in Hammer and Nigel YouTube and watch the show live on YouTube. He said, "Hey Nigel, weren't you patient zero?" Sometimes it's just random stuff. Yes, I was. I consider myself patient zero in terms of COVID here in Indiana, at least.
Really? Why?
Because I think it was floating around here a lot earlier than anybody ever knew and expected. It was October of 2019, Jeff.
Okay.
And I had just got my flu shot, actually. And then a week later, I got so sick. I was in bed. I could not get out of bed for 10 days.
Wow.
And then I finally, Hammer was taking off work the next week, and I had to come back to work. I had to. And I was feeling better. I was getting my energy back. But this was October, November 2019, a couple months before COVID.
Okay.
And I look back on it now, and I'm like, I had COVID.
Yeah.
I had it. I had to have had it.
My mom was sick in December, a month after that, and she thinks she had it too. It was like an abnormal sickness. So, wow.
Yeah, but I think I was patient zero in Indiana.
I could see where a lot of people would possibly think you were patient zero. For a multitude of reasons. Can I tell you one thing about patient zero?
Yes.
Molly's brother is a movie producer and was producing the movie Mulan, the live-action Mulan. This is at the beginning of 2020.
Oh, yeah.
They had the premiere in Hollywood, and guess where all of the actors flew in from? Wuhan, China. And they had the premiere, and all of them are sitting there. Mulan herself was from Wuhan. They're all at the Grauman Chinese Theater.
They all had it. They all had it.
I think, and her brother got COVID like after that for weeks, and
But they didn't know what it was back then.
It wasn't a thing yet. Like it was Nancy
he just got real
Pelosi.
sick.
Remember Nancy Pelosi was on TV going, go down to Chinatown in San Fran and hug people. Give them hugs.
The most racist. I mean, honestly, we're going to go down to Chinatown.
Give them hugs.
Shake hands. Real quick, I just wanted to mention everybody that was worried about Michelle Obama's marriage to the former president can be rest assured they are still together.
Oh, good. Good for them.
She kind of reflected on the scrutiny she faced. She didn't show up for President Carter's funeral or Trump's inauguration.
She was having a me day, I believe. That's what they said.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
Quote, one of the major decisions I made this year was to stay put and not attend funerals and inaugurations and all the things that I'm supposed to attend. That must be nice. Like, there's been a few funerals that I've been to in my day that I didn't want to go to. But because I was supposed to go to, I went.
I went to a funeral last week. That was the most uplifting funeral. It was a great, great man, and he had his funeral in Kokomo, and it was just wonderful to see people, and what a great Christian man who led a great life. My thing about the Michelle Obama, imagine being in a place where you actually say the words, "I've decided not to go to inaugurations this year." What a tool. Am I right?
Just tone deaf, doesn't know. I mean, obviously, they're all about the climate and the ocean levels rising, but yet they still buy the Martha's Vineyard place. I think they're trying to unload that. I don't know. But the fact that people don't see me going out on a date with my husband sparks rumors of the end of our marriage. I don't know if this is what I don't understand. Michelle Obama says, I don't know if my ambition has ever fully been able to actualize itself because of the nature of what me and my husband have done. That's a little passive-aggressive, isn't it? I have ambition, but I've not been able to achieve it because of my husband.
Do you think she honestly realizes that no one voted for her? Or is she in a place right now to where, we got 72 million votes? It's like, no, we didn't. Just like when people go, we're pregnant. No, mister, you're not.
Why does the mainstream media want the Iranian bunker buster nuke sites to be a failure? We will get into the weeds, go into that. It is the Hammer and Nigel show. My name is Nigel. That's Jeff Boggs filling in for Hammer. We'll be back. You know about Indy Decorative Concrete already, the best local custom concrete outfit in the business. They've been around since 2007. Their owners, Mark and Jamie, not only do they run a great custom concrete business, but they're great people. In fact, when we were thinking about getting a new front porch and sidewalk, Mark came out to my house, gave us a few design ideas, and then we went to their showroom, and Jamie helped us pick out the stamp pattern we liked best. It was an easy process, and once they got started, they were done in 3 days with our, just completely blown away with our custom stamped concrete area and patio with more space and an absolutely awesome, unique look. You need to check out. So whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, don't do anything until you've checked out IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. And they don't use subs either. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out a variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
Puccini's, we think less screen time and more quality mealtime is the better way. Eat, talk, and dine with less blue light glaring or talking heads blaring while enjoying great food at a reasonable price is the Puccini's way. Dine in for hot, delicious food prepared fresh and to your liking. If you need anything, we're right there so you'll leave full and happy. We have delivery options and carryout, but let's start dining in together again the way we all used to enjoy so much.
Puccini's Pizza, Pasta, Puccini's.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state, back and forth, dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then, 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. We are cleaning out inventory. Save up to 50% off Lazy Boys, Smith Brothers, and Flex Steel. And if it's in stock, save up to an extra 25% off. Save up to 20% off Berlin Gardens and Pollywood Outdoor Furniture. And save up to 50% off floor sample mattresses, including Tempur-Pedic. First come, first serve. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
The High Court corrals what the president has called rogue judges. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. The justices limiting the power of federal judges to issue nationwide injunctions. President Trump lauding their decision.
In practice, this meant that if any one of the nearly 700 federal judges disagreed with the policy of a duly elected president of the United States, he or she could block that policy from going into effect or at least delay it for many years, tie it up in the court system.
He now moves to deny birthright citizenship to women who are currently in the country illegally.
In another ruling involving a task force that can direct which preventive services a health insurance company must cover, the justices said those task force members can be appointed by the Health and Human Services Secretary, not necessarily the president. The more conservative justices, Alito, Thomas, and Gorsuch, dissented. And the justices agreed the way the FCC charges telecommunication companies to contribute to a fund that helps pay for services in lower income and rural areas is legal. Justices Gorsuch, Thomas, and Alito dissented there. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
And the High Court rules parents in Maryland can opt their children out of LGBTQ teachings in public schools.
This one said those parents in a local district here outside of D.C. who were trying to opt out of lessons that had books that were in conflict with their religious faith. The school district used to let them, but so many people opted out that the school district said, it's just too cumbersome, we can't do it. Well, Justice Alito, writing for the majority, said these parents get a preliminary injunction. He says the board has to notify them in advance whenever any of these books in question or any other similar book is to be used in any way, and to allow them to have their kids to be excused if they want. In the dissent from Justice Sotomayor, she said, exposure to new ideas has always been a vital part of that project until now. So she feels like kids should get exposed to things regardless of what their parents think.
Fox's Shannon Bream at the U.S. Supreme Court. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Chet changes. It appears you will be getting some rain and thunderstorms here in the Indy Metro. It's just taking a while to get here. It's made it past Crawfordsville. Lebanon is the next destination, but the rain is coming. It's a line that's stretching north to south and headed east. It's 91 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A quick update on Caitlin Clark. She will be out again due to a groin injury. July 1st is a big day for state lawmakers, but also for you.
Tuesday, July 1st marks a significant day for Indiana as over 240 new state laws officially take effect. These changes passed during the last legislative session impact everything from education to public safety and even healthcare costs. Highlights to include for new rules on Medicaid eligibility, a ban on state funding for obscene performances, and increased speed limits on 465. Hoosiers are encouraged to familiarize themselves with the various changes impacting their daily lives.
A 12-year-old boy dead in Cumberland. Police say he found a loaded gun and accidentally shot himself this morning about 1 while no adults were around. It's unclear now if any charges are coming. In the Monday morning shooting on Monument Circle, downtown Indy, in which 3 people ended up with bullet wounds but all survived, police say 16-year-old Terrell Andrews was ID'd as the shooter thanks to some working smarter, not harder. Surveillance cams caught him in several places right after the shooting, and he's being charged as an adult. Deputies in Vanderburgh County say they've nabbed a convicted child molester in Evansville, Jarrett Lewis.
Upon arriving to the One Life Hotel in North Evansville Thursday morning, deputies came into contact with a girl they believed to be at the hotel and had been reported missing since Saturday. Also there, 26-year-old Christopher Gamble, who authorities say had multiple active felony warrants, including charges relating to child molestation. An arrest warrant was issued for Gamble on June 18th from the Spencer Circuit Court, where he had pleaded guilty and was convicted in April of 2016 to 2 felony charges of child molesting. He now faces multiple preliminary charges, including contributing to the delinquency of a minor and failure to register as a sex offender.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Mad Bear.
All right, Chris, looking at the north side, it's westbound 465 after Michigan Road crash, blocking 2 right lanes, jamming us up back to Meridian. Delay time of 53 minutes. Pike Township, northbound 65, stop-and-go traffic, 71st up to 865. Southbound lanes dragging from Whitestown Parkway to 865. East side, eastbound 70 exiting to rural. That is a stalled vehicle on the exit ramp. The ramp is open. Westbound 70 in slowly from Earl Street to the north. Split southbound 6570. That construction delay is jammed up from the north split down to the south split. At eastbound 70 slow to downtown. That stop and go traffic Belmont to the south split for a 5-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Discover. Discover wants everyone to feel special. That's why they double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hot and humid once again today. We'll see a spotty afternoon shower or thunderstorm. 92 today with feels like temps into the triple digits. That heat advisory expires at 8 p.m. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. Hammer is out. Jeff Boggs, also known as Not Kenny Rogers on social media, is in. Longtime writer for the Letterman Show, lifelong Hoosier. I think one of the themes of this show today, and I think you really set the tone with the text you sent me earlier, is that Trump is having a very successful week as president of the United States. When you're talking, especially in terms of the Supreme Court, those wins in the Supreme Court, we can go over those later. We've already been over those. But like these peace deals, like when Trump was on his way to NATO, which that in and of itself was, and we'll talk about Trump at NATO.
Daddy.
In the Netherlands, yeah. I mean, he signed, there was a peace deal with Iran and Israel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pakistan and India, something that's not on anybody's radar, but is important, is that the Congo and Rwanda, the foreign ministers of those places are at the White House signing a peace deal after a decades-long war, decades-long carnage,
A brutal,
in
brutal
Eastern,
war.
in the Eastern Congo. Zelensky telling Trump at NATO he wants to end the war, and so Trump's having a good week, I think. But the mainstream media wants the Iran bunker buster, because this is kind of where it all started. About last week at this time, maybe Saturday night, I believe, I think is where the United States decided to kind of intercede, is a word, between Israel and Iran. Israel, a couple of weeks ago, did the dirty work, laid the foundation in terms of bombing and, killing a bunch of top-level military guys and nuclear scientists and uranium enrichment facilities, and then the United States went in there last Saturday or Friday. I can't remember.
It was Saturday.
It was Saturday night.
I remember, because if you're on social media, all of a sudden World War III starts trending.
That's right.
It does every couple days now, but World War III, and this time they really thought it was.
And so the United States used these. We're the only ones in the world that have them. These bunker busters. Like, they'll drop one, and then the other one will follow it and just explode everything that's deep inside the mountains.
Right. They obliterated the sites, and I assume we're now going to talk about the people who said, well, not so fast.
Here's some audio from yesterday of an exchange. I just want to play it real quick. This is from yesterday between Fox News, and I like Jennifer Griffin. She's their Pentagon correspondent. This is a quick back and forth between her and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth at a press conference.
Do you have certainty that all the highly enriched uranium was inside the Fordo mountain, or some of it, because there were satellite photos that showed more than a dozen trucks there 2 days in advance? Are you certain none of that highly enriched uranium was moved?
Of course, we're watching every single aspect, but Jennifer, you've been about the worst. The one who misrepresents the most intentionally.
I don't
what the president says. I'm familiar.
That's saying something when CNN entities like CNN and MSNBC are still out there. Jennifer, you're the worst.
That was,
they were co-workers.
Yeah,
by the way,
that was maybe there's a personal history there, because that seemed a little unwarranted. When you talk about the other people who were spreading false information, that was shocking.
Well, when you talk about the other people, there's a headline on Breitbart, and we're going to be talking to this guy later. Nick Gilbertson at 5:30 from Breitbart did a story about how one of the CNN reporters behind a leaked report stating that the United States strikes on Iran did not destroy the components of the nuclear sites also wrote, this is the same person that also wrote that story about the 50 former intelligence officials claiming that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation in 2020. And now the same author, this same quote-unquote journalist is saying, well, yeah, we have this report that the strikes in Iran didn't do very much.
And CNN,
why does mainstream media want the Iran buster nuke site to be a failure?
Because Orange Man bad. That's why. I think everybody knows.
It's really easy.
Everybody knows the reason for that. CNN also went on, I don't know if you saw last night, they said years of bad plastic surgery have had no ill effects on Madonna's face. So they put that report out there. I don't know if you've seen the before and after pics, but I don't know if I believe them. This whole thing, I mean, you said it. The person who found this report, who, by the way,
this is a leaked report.
A leaked report,
yes,
by the way, should be going to prison for leaking that report. It'll be interesting to see how that happens. We all know we destroyed their nuclear capabilities. You can look at the pictures. The trucks that were there lined up days before were full of concrete. They were there to reinforce these nuclear facilities because they knew we had bunker busters. What they didn't know was we were actually going to use them. And that was the biggest part of this whole story. Nobody knew it was going to happen, yet a couple of 20-year-olds flying in from Missouri on a 36-hour flight. Trump did what he said he was going to do, and he called their bluff. And so CNN doesn't know how to deal with that and all these other incredibly positive things that are happening. So you have to wonder, who are they rooting for? You know, are we all are we Americans? Are we rooting for America, Or has it now just become anything good that happens for Donald Trump, half the country is going to root against?
Couple more pieces of audio here. We'll start with White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who said that the FBI is investigating who was the source of this leak to CNN and saying that's illegal.
They took bits and pieces from a leaked top secret intelligence report. And by the way, I understand the FBI is investigating who was the source of that leak because it's an illegal leak to CNN. And this is the same fake news CNN reporter who wrote the story alleging that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation, which we know is one of the greatest political hoaxes this country and the American public have ever seen. And that CNN story does not change the facts. There was a total and complete obliteration of Iran's nuclear facilities. And because of the president's strike, because of the precision of our United States military and this perfectly executed mission, Iran no longer has the capability to produce a nuclear weapon as imminently as they did prior to the strike. The American people in the world should be grateful for that, and it's disgusting that CNN and the New York Times are disparaging not just the president, but our brave men and women who helped conduct this highly successful operation.
It's the White House press secretary. But look, Brian Stelter of CNN, the thumb, as we like to call him, because he looks like a thumb.
That's the body part you go with? The thumb?
Sticking up for... I think it's probably the more radio-friendly, FCC-friendly one.
Okay.
Sticking up for CNN. Hey, wait, we're just asking questions.
There's a lot more to learn about this subject, and that's what the public wants from the press. The public expects the press to do that work dispassionately, neutrally, not looking for an outcome, but trying to find out what actually happened inside Iran.
Asking questions is one thing, which may have been what Jennifer Griffin from Fox News was doing. But CNN, that's kind of a different level. Again, 5:30, we'll get into that and figure out where CNN got those leaks from. It's going to be a very interesting conversation with Nick Gilbertson from Breitbart.
CNN had a big red graphic on their screen for 6 hours on Wednesday night. A big red graphic on the bottom pushing the idea that sources say. And they had it up there all night. They were giddy about it. It's ridiculous.
Why would you, like Donald Trump has, as Hammer has said repeatedly, Donald Trump has put CNN in a position to try to defend Iran and make it seem like, nothing happened.
Right.
Yeah, nothing to see here. Please disperse.
And it's a big question now. The 114 people who still watch CNN, do they even believe it? I don't know. I see the ratings.
Going to be another hot weekend. Heat advisory through... Well, I don't know if it ends today or tomorrow. Are you going to be spending any time at the pool, Jeff? Do you have a pool that you could go to? My philosophy is have a neighbor with a pool. And I do, finally, after a couple of years, and it's glorious.
It's unbelievable. We actually, our complex has a beautiful pool, a newly built pool. And last weekend, there was the kicking off summer pool party.
Oh, nice.
And so Molly and I went down. They had tacos. They had a DJ. They had drinks. There were quite a few drinks. I tried a couple drinks. Yeah. I showed you my picture. They had an underwater camera that would take pictures of you and turn you into a mermaid.
Cool, yeah.
And I showed you the picture. It was disturbing. It looked ridiculous, but
very troubling.
But
your spouse, it was beautiful.
Yeah, she took a great one without even trying.
It turned her into a mermaid underwater. It was great.
Her hair was flowing, and she looked like a supermodel. And
Can you text me that picture?
No,
please.
No, that's so creepy. But then I took mine, and I looked like I looked gross. Half man.
Can you text me that picture
of me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll text you the one of me. Why do you want the picture of me as half man, half mermaid? Jeez. But okay, here's the weird thing that happened at the pool party. So a lot of people are having fun. We're having a great time. And all of a sudden, I mean, there were probably like 100 people there. All of a sudden, you hear this ring out. Daryl, don't you throw that hot dog in the pool.
And Daryl was going to throw, somebody named Daryl had a hot dog ready to launch into the pool.
We looked at each other and we were like, and then some people stopped, but the DJ's playing, and you heard it again. Daryl, don't you throw that hot dog in the pool. And we were like, We were like, oh my goodness. So I was thinking on the way in this morning, what are some things that you definitely never want to hear yelled out at a pool party? You guys have been to pool parties. Allison, you've gone to pool parties.
Yeah.
Nigel, of course you've gone to pool parties, private pool parties with the Paganos and things like that.
Sure.
I thought, and I brought a little of the audio from the pool party. I just took a couple minutes of raw audio. Do you guys just want to try and around the horn? And we'll each just yell out something that you definitely would never want to hear at a pool party.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, I'll start it off.
Let's get the ambience going here.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. That sounds good. All right, here, I'll start off. Stop it, Greg. That's your cousin. You don't want to hear that at a pool party.
Stop it, Greg. It's your cousin.
That's your cousin. You don't want to hear that.
I would definitely not want to hear this at a pool party in this accent, especially. Hey, Bertha, your boobies hanging out.
What?
I wouldn't want to hear that at a...
What pool party did you go to? Is that something you've heard before?
I'm just saying I wouldn't want to hear that, especially in that dialect and in that accent, because it's not pretty.
All right, that was good, Nigel. Okay. Allison, give me one.
Okay.
You're at a pool party. Things are getting crazy. What don't you want to hear?
Henry, where's your Band-Aid?
Oh, that's gross. When a Band-Aid, is floating.
It's floating right by your nose.
That's the problem. When the pool is packed with people, it gets a little, it's the whole, what was the Baby Ruth floating in the pool during, was it Caddyshack?
Caddyshack.
You just
There it is.
Yeah, I got another one. Ready? Here's something you don't want to hear at a pool party. The restraining order said 500 feet, Nigel.
Okay, fine. I'll take that one. We'll end it there. I think Bertha, your boobies hanging out might be second, but
it was the accent that was troubling.
That was it. Enjoy your pool parties this weekend. Matt Bear, what's going on?
All right, looking at the north side, westbound 465 after Michigan Road, 2 right lanes blocked because of a crash, and we are jammed up past Meridian. 31 delayed time, coming in at 48 minutes. Another crash on the north side. It's Ditch Road at 79th Street. Stall, east side. Eastbound 72 Rural Street, ramp is open, is partially blocked. Westbound 70 stop and go rural into the north split, then southbound 65 70 stopped from the north split down to the south split because of construction. Eastbound 75-minute delay from Belmont to the south split, and this is a crash going northbound Illinois at Fall Creek Parkway north. 2-car crash, one into a utility pole. That left lane of Illinois is closed. Crash Lawrence, Pendleton Pike between East 56 and Sunnyside Road. Crash Beach Grove, Emerson Avenue at Churchman Avenue, reported as a motorcycle wreck with injury. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code radio for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Can we talk about the track and field guy that won the hurdle race with his junk hanging out the whole time?
You have to. You have to.
That's next in Is This Anything? 91 degrees at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The guys at Galaxy Concrete Coatings are busy, so that's why you got to book your project now to get it done in time so you can enjoy it for the summer. Whether we're talking about a garage floor coating, a concrete basement coating, pool deck, any indoor-outdoor area concrete Galaxy Coatings, as far as I'm concerned, are the best in the business. They came in and worked a miracle with my garage floor. In a day, went from cracked and stained and old and uneven to this just beautiful flooring that's now coated with polyurea. Check out their website, get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
Still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024
Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Kevin Reinhardt says this family-owned business has a lot of pride in their work.
Danny started the business back in 1986 here in Danville, and we take a lot of pride in the town of Danville with a lot of repeat customers, people that I've known basically all my life. And it's just nice to continue to do the service that they trust for over 30 years.
You can trust Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, 317-745-4526. Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Johnson County in central Indiana, as well as south central Marion County in central Indiana until 4:45 this afternoon. At 4:21, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Indianapolis to near Greenwood, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. The radar was indicated with that. You can expect damage to roofs, sidings, and trees. Locations impacted include Indianapolis, Greenwood, Beech Grove, Southport, and Homecroft. This does include Interstate 65 between mile markers 98 and 110. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northwestern Johnson County and south central Marion County until 4:45 this afternoon. And some severe weather that's impacting this 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and it's moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Watch out for some hail, some heavy rain, and also some heavy wind gusts as well.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Denny Smith here. The hot summer sales continue at Miss M's Home and Garden and Sundown Gardens. Happening now, save more when you buy more trees and shrubs. Now, when you buy 2, you save 10%. When you buy 4, you save 20%. And get this, when you buy 6 or more trees and or shrubs, you save 30%. Also, if you need a refresh in the porch planters, annuals are 30% off. Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville. Sundown Gardens, 186th Street, Spring Mill Road in Westfield.
Presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed, presented by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana. Reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. Fast, easy, and free to search at indianaunclaimed.gov. I'm Nigel. Jeff Boggs in for Hammer. Allison, have you seen the Allison is our producer. Have you seen the footage of the runner that he won the 400-meter hurdle race in the Czech Republic despite having his junk falling out of his shorts?
Well, Jeff brought this to my attention right before the show started, so I have done my research and watched it a couple times. Poor guy.
No, I asked you. I asked her before. I said,
do it for research, and
Jeff,
I said, okay.
Jeff and I had a conversation before this. I thought we weren't going to make her watch this.
Okay, Allison, what did I say to you to kick it off? Do you remember?
How comfortable are you with male nudity?
That's exactly what I said. And then you go, that's a weird question.
Uh-huh.
But it was a news story, and it was everywhere yesterday, literally everywhere. And so I just, it's the human body. I don't think there's anything sexual about it. I think it was a news story.
And by now, they're all censored.
Yes.
I will say. So it's okay to watch.
Oh, I saw the uncensored. So
of course you did.
Here's what happened. It's something called the Strava. Huge track and field thing in the Czech Republic, Czechia. This American runner won the 400-meter hurdle race despite having his penis constantly falling out of his shorts.
Constantly.
As he's hurdling, he still won the event. He's 24 years old. His name's Chris Robinson. He was flying over the obstacles at a high rate of speed, and the thing kept dangling. I don't know. He must have been wearing a faulty pair of shorts or something, you would think.
They're very short shorts.
Yep.
They're
which didn't
very
help.
short shorts, but it's
Media is calling it a wardrobe malfunction.
A constant malfunction, because if this is a 400-meter race, I would say the unit came out, I believe, 9 times. So I'm not good with math, but that's once every.
I'm surprised he didn't hurt himself.
Well, I mean, are we going to get into the nuts and bolts of this?
We're running behind here. So, do you want to tell me if this is anything or not?
For him, it's something because there's no shame in his game. Let's just say that.
And he won the race.
He won it all right.
He was adjusting himself in between the hurdles.
Did you see the other runners though? It seemed like something was up. Like they seemed to be almost. One of them was like a tubby white guy who didn't seem in great shape. So I wondered at first if the whole thing was a joke. But then this dude, he won the race, and it'll go down in history.
That is something. Bravo.
Good for him.
Ladies and gentlemen. Matt Baer is coming in next. We've got something to celebrate, and we will do that next. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group, and this is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more. Lease a new 2025 Toyota RAV4, just $349 per month, or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. So if you've been turned away due to the crowds, come back. This is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Don't miss it on US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. New RAV4s, $349 per month, or new Tacomas, $299 per month. All offers end June 30th. Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, $199 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter.
Breaking news for the people of Boomtown. With Xfinity Mobile, the Wi-Fi is booming, at home and on the go.
And an upgrade storm's on the way.
That's right. And with Xfinity Mobile Premium Unlimited, you can upgrade your phone when you want, up to 2 times a year.
Now, once customers catch wind of the guaranteed new device discount, it'll be the biggest upgrade storm in history.
Wow. Let's hear from our weatherman on the scene.
How's it looking out there, Rick?
Well, Bill, the Wi-Fi is still booming.
Now through September 30th, existing Xfinity Internet customers can get an unlimited line included for a year. Plus, ask how to get a free 5G phone. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Unlimited line offer requires Xfinity 300 megabit internet or above. Taxes, fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Data thresholds vary.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Washington, D.C., where nothing is a guarantee. 91 on Monument Circle, but that may soon change with showers and thunderstorms headed this way that could possibly cool it down. Those thunderstorms have made it close to the Indy Metro, but not quite here yet. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. Big, beautiful bill trouble. Chad Pergram reports.
The Senate parliamentarian took a hatchet to the GOP bill. That's because many provisions failed to comply with special Senate budget rules. So the Senate made dramatic changes to the original bill. Republican members are getting antsy, facing a weekend of work. Aligning with the House could be a challenge. House conservatives are balking at the Senate bill. They could reject the bill or change it and return to sender. Now, the House will give its members 48 hours to get back to Washington after the Senate votes. House Speaker Mike Johnson wants the bill to copy the original House plan as much as possible.
You may have heard of the alligator Alcatraz for illegal immigrants in Florida. The prep work is being done.
The Florida National Guard will play a key role in operating this facility. In terms of cost, Florida is eligible for full federal reimbursement. The governor says he believes this operation can be done for less than $450 million. The governor says the most dangerous of criminals will be housed here. Now, as we enter hurricane season, the Florida Division of Emergency Management says they will be ready for evacuations.
A lot of the stuff that they're putting up can actually withstand 110 mile per hour sustained winds. We're inland, so you probably wouldn't get much more than that once the hurricane makes on shore. So all of that is contemplated in everything they're doing.
In Ochope, Florida, I'm Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News.
A highway named for a hero. Johnette Cruz reports.
Fallen Indiana State troopers being permanently honored in Johnson County. Trooper Aaron Smith was tragically killed in the line of duty on June 28, 2023, when he was struck by a vehicle during a high-speed pursuit near Indianapolis. Just yesterday, NDOT workers installed a sign dedicating the Trooper Aaron Smith Memorial Highway at US 31 and Smith Valley Road in Greenwood. Smith, a Johnson County native, also served with distinction in the Indiana National Guard, earning several military awards. This dedication ensures his sacrifice will not be forgotten. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, crash leaving downtown. It's northbound Illinois, Fall Creek Parkway. The left lane is closed. 2 cars involved, one into a utility pole. Please be careful. North side, westbound 465 after Michigan Road. That crash cleared. We're still stopped from Meridian to Ditch. Inbound 69, stop and go. 106th Street, 282nd. East side, southbound 465 jams from Washington to Brookville Road. Westbound 70 slow from rural to the north split, and then we are jammed southbound 6570 north split to the south split, delayed 10 minutes. Eastbound 70 slow from Belmont into the south split. That is a 9-minute delay and a crash in Beech Grove. Emerson Avenue at Churchman Avenue reported with motorcycle and injury. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hot and humid once again today. We'll see a spotty afternoon shower or thunderstorm. 92 today with feels like temps into the triple digits. That heat advisory expires at 8 p.m. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So, Matt Bear, WIBC Traffic Beast, joining us live in studio, as he always does around this time on Fridays at 4:30. I'm Nigel. Jeff Boggs filling in for Hammer. You are the WIBC traffic reporter for how long now?
Oh, I'd say about 10 years, a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a decade.
Wow,
8
yeah.
years, 9 years, 10 years.
And you're also the co-host of the Supporting Sobriety podcast, very successful podcast, in which you and your coworker Ryan Hedrick from the WIBC Newsroom host. How would you describe the podcast again?
It's for the caregiver. I'm a recovering alcoholic and addict. And Ryan, our morning anchor, is a recovering addict. And what we have done is put together a podcast about recovery from alcoholism and addiction. And we talk to the caregivers, like people in this room, people we tortured through our use, family members, loved ones, anybody like that basically really cared about us, but we didn't have the capacity to care during our use. So now this is kind of our living amends to say thank you. And this is what's going on.
Matt, can I tell you one thing? One of my favorite parts of the day now, of my day, when I come in here, I go over to your cubicle, and you're nice enough to let me use your exercise ball to stretch my lower lumbar.
Yes.
I feel like it's brought us closer together.
You've taught me a lot.
There's an exercise ball back there?
It's a large ball. Matt was nice enough.
So you sit on it and gyrate?
I don't sit on it. I go back, I loosen my lower lumbar, and then you and I talk about furniture or stretching or anything. But it's a couple minutes where I get to spend with you that really make my whole day. Because otherwise it's just Nigel, and that brings me down.
Well, I've learned a lot about...
I understand that.
I've learned a lot about lumbar from you.
Sure.
So thank you.
Thank you.
And it is a gyration. I've seen it before. And
It
I'm not,
is.
hey, I don't do
So it is a gyration on his
you get
exercise
done,
ball.
Yeah, it's covered in paint. When you leave, it really is dried paint. When you leave, then I gyrate on the same ball. So, it's like using the restroom with Nigel like I do on the regular. It's cool.
Yeah, we try to coordinate sometimes. We text each other.
All the time.
Hey, look, man, this is a big deal today. I don't know if we mentioned it last week, but today is the day, the 4-year anniversary of sobriety for Matt Bear. Congratulations, man!
Nice
work. How do you feel about that? And I know you're a little maybe some apprehension talking about it or acknowledging it. Last week, I felt like, what is that like, and why? If you could maybe shed some light on that.
Yeah, man. Today is my 4-year sober birthday, and 4 years drug and alcohol free. So that's really cool.
It is.
My apprehension comes from this. I always feel comfortable, and I've had to get better at this in recovery. You have to get better about talking about yourself and your feelings and your emotions, because we're man, and we're big alpha man. Yeah, we
hold
can't
it
do that.
in.
Yeah.
Don't ever show your emotions.
Don't ever do that. Always internalize, and your marriage will last forever. So when I talk about it, I feel weird, man. You know, I feel a little odd. It's just like,
Well, I think it's an inspiration to others.
Well, that's kind of what it is. And Ryan, the podcast partner, our morning guy, he's taught me so much about this to keep that sobriety. You got to give it away, man. And so if I tell people that I'm 4 years sober, I kind of think to myself, your culture, Matt, was alcohol. My whole culture, my whole life for 25 years kind of revolved around alcohol. And if I can do it, anybody can. And that's what I'm saying.
That's the thing is, if I'm listening to this and I have addiction and I hear that you're 4 years sober, my first thing would be, well, how did you do it? People are going to ask you because you're an example right now. And so I think that when you do share those steps, and of course it's not the same for everyone, but when you share your success story, that's a lot of hope for a whole lot of people. So it's phenomenal.
Well, thanks for saying that, man. It's for me, I always have, this big reflection period on my sober birthday. I forget my regular birthday habits. My sister texted me, remind me.
Matt, did you forget your birthday again?
Happy birthday, Bobby. I'm like,
Frank.
I'm like, what? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, great. 47 today. Yeah. But no, this is, I always do some reflection with this. I start looking around Indianapolis and how I always wanted to make it here. Like when I lived in the town Indianapolis was like New York City, London, all put together. This is the Mecca, and it still is. And when I come through, I can't believe everything that's happened. Like, man,
you're from where? You're from
Rochester. Rochester. 2 hours north. Great people in Rochester, Fulton County. And I look around and be like, dude, you did it. You made it, and you were sober, and you're healthy, and you know people that care about you. And I had people that cared about me up there. They didn't know I was what I was at the time, which was an alcoholic and using a lot of pills. They probably knew I was an alcoholic. Probably got that impression. The pills thing, maybe not so much, because I was addicted to Oxycontin and hydrocodone for a long time.
Oh, wow.
So when I get down here and I look around, everybody's like, man, 91 degrees. I'm like, this is heaven to me. This place is still heaven. Indianapolis is still my babe. It's still my heart. And the fact that I was able to get here and sustain it, man, that feels so good to me. And again, the reason I say this, and look at me, I'm on the radio, and it's if I can do it, anybody can.
Yeah. Here's a dumb question.
That's what
I got a really dumb question about this, and it's ignorant of me to ask, but is it ever okay to get to a point in your life where you say, okay, I've reached this pinnacle, I've reached a plateau, maybe I can have a glass of wine? Is that okay? Do you guys talk about that on your podcast?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We talk about this in different ways frequently. But the thing about this is I can go have a glass of wine. Sure, that's not a problem. I'll probably be fired in a week because once I have that glass of wine, oh, baby, we are off to the races. Let's go. That glass of wine's a bottle of vodka 2 days later. And this is what happened to me 4 years ago in June. I said, hey, I had a good race broadcast. Maybe I'll just have a sip tonight.
Yeah.
Just for the weekend. Weekend turned into June.
Yeah.
I mean, my anniversary is on June 27th. Think about that whole time. And I'm just not spot drinking here. I'm just not social drinking. I am pulling from the bottle on the nightstand.
Yeah.
When I don't have the vodka in my handshake. That's exactly, and that's how quick it went, and just went in 1 week. Boom, over, stone cold. And next thing you know, you go down that path. If you're an alcoholic like me, you're going to die. You're eventually going to die. Happy Friday, everybody. You're eventually
you're all going to die.
That's eventually going to happen to you, and that will eventually happen to me if I choose to use again sometime down the road.
So Ryan talked about that on his...
Yeah, he did. Here's the thing. The 4 years, I want to talk about the 4 years, which I did, and that's because it's important. I want people to know whether it's a day, 30 days, 60 days, it doesn't matter. You are sober. You're doing the thing. If you relapse, you are doing the thing, and you have courage, and I believe in you, and I love you. What Ryan is doing right now is miraculous to me. He is going through it at the moment. And we taped last Saturday this latest episode of Supporting Sobriety, and we're about to tell you here. You can find Supporting Sobriety on any podcast. Let's hear what Ryan said last weekend.
Doctors are going to discuss whether they need to pull the plug. My dad has a tube down his throat. He has leukemia. He had a bleed that went into his bloodstream, which went to his brain. So he's on life support, say a prayer for him. But for me, it looks a lot like this. Here's what my day is going to entail. after I leave here. I'm going to be at meetings. I'm going to share about this stuff. I'm going to talk to my sponsor, and I'm not going to use no matter what, man. Recovery gives us an opportunity to live life on life's terms. I couldn't think of a more noble thing to do. I mean, my spirituality, I have a real opportunity to increase my relationship with God through this. That's big for an addict like me, man.
All week long, Ryan Hedrick was sober.
Wow.
Finds out yesterday his dad's going to hospice. Came in today sober. Had a good morning. Little after 2 o'clock, his dad passes away. I talked to him on the phone.
I saw him earlier.
Little after 2 o'clock, his dad passes away. He calls me on the phone. We talked for a minute. He's sober. Tomorrow, he's going to be sober, and the day after.
Wow.
My point being, if he can do it, then I have no reason to drink tonight. This is the point of recovery, no matter what. You do not use, you do not drink.
Incredible, man.
And that's what he is doing right now. He is an inspiration. He has courage. And if you're looking to get into recovery, like as an alcoholic or addict, this is an example to follow. And you can find him at Sure to Cover and at Sobriety_pod. We're both there.
So you guys will talk about that on the next podcast?
We will talk about it more.
Is it up now? But
that's up now.
That clip is up now.
Okay. Yeah, that's the latest episode.
And they can find it where?
So you can find Supporting Sobriety, any podcast provider like Apple, Spotify, whatever you want to do there. We'll talk about this again when he's ready. Yeah. And,
powerful stuff, man.
Yeah, thank you.
WIBC traffic director Matt Baer and also host of the Supporting Sobriety podcast. Happy anniversary, man. 4 years sober. Congratulations. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
The Depot presents Freedom Fest at Depot Street Park in Greenfield this Saturday, featuring Smash Mouth.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
Enjoy the beer garden, food vendors, and Smash Mouth with special guests, that 90s band, and Reveal. Free admission this Saturday, and bring your lawn chairs.
So don't delay, act now, supplies are running out.
The gates open at 2 p.m. at Depot Street Park in Greenfield.
You might as well be walking on the sun.
The National Weather Service in Indianapolis has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for western Hancock County in central Indiana, northwestern Shelby County, northeastern Johnson County, and southeastern Marion County until 5 o'clock this afternoon. At 4:43, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Lawrence to near Greenwood, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour with 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. You can expect damage to roofs, sidings, and trees. Locations impacted include Indianapolis, Shelbyville, Lawrence, Beech Grove, Cumberland, McCordsville, New Palestine, Warren Park, Fairland, and Spring Lake. That does include the following highways: I-70 between mile markers 88 and 98, and I-74 between mile markers 93 and 110. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Again, severe thunderstorm warning for western Hancock County, northwestern Shelby County, northeastern Johnson County, and southeastern Marion County until 5 o'clock tonight.
Hey, you thinking about selling your home, thinking about buying a home? Call the only local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, the Hammer and Nigel Show. We're talking about Mark Dietl. Mark Dietl has been through every situation you could think of. He caters to your specific needs. John in Greencastle had just bought his house, but then his son moved an hour away, and he was also 45 minutes from work. Kind of felt like he made a mistake, and he's stuck there since he'd only been there for less than a year. Not with the Mark Dietl team. They delivered big. House sold in 14 days for the price he needed so he could move closer to family and work.
Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick your move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietl today. Ask about that guarantee. 317-755-4232 or go to markdietl.com. Mark D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220. That's Hammer and Nigel to 46220. Or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream. A sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
Only 2 months to go. Get ready for a day of golf, good times, and giving back at this year's golf outing powered by Franciscan Health, Thursday, August 7th at the Legends Golf Club in Franklin. Grab your spot now at 1075thefan.com.
Matt Bear, what's going on?
All right, checking out southbound 65 before Keystone Avenue crash. 2 left lanes blocked, stopped into the south split. Looking at a crash, this is eastbound 72 rural straight ahead, southbound 6570 construction delay jam north to the south split. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Rain, keeping an eye on that weather in some parts of Indy. 91 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. I'm Nigel. Jeff Boggs filling in for Hammer. Went a little bit long with Matt Bear in his segment. It was totally worth it. If you missed what we just talked about on his 4-year anniversary, his sobriety, and the Supporting Sobriety podcast, you got to go back and listen to that. That'll be on WIBC.com on the Hammer and Nigel page. Coming up next, Donald Trump has had a pretty good week, sweeping Supreme Court rulings, the Iran victory, the NASDAQ and S&P just hitting all-time highs. We'll get to all that coming up on 93 WIBC. Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, cleaning out their inventory. You could save up to 20% off Berlin Gardens and Pollywood outdoor furniture. I have the Berlin Gardens outdoor furniture on my patio. I absolutely love it. First come, first serve. The sale ends Monday. Save up to 50% off Lazy Boys and Smith Brothers. And if it's in stock, save up an extra 25% off. Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Free delivery, baby.
Owned and operated by the same family since 1927, and they still offer free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles of their store. But on top of that, they support what we do here at the Hammer and Nigel Show, so take care of these guys. Tempur-Pedic mattress, indoor furniture, outdoor furniture, couches, love seat, they got you. ThompsonFurniture.net, Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations. and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
With everything going on, it may be hard to imagine one more thing to worry about. But clothes dryers cause thousands of house fires every year. And dirty ductwork in your home is filling the air you breathe with pollutants and allergens. Should you worry? Not if you contact Safe Dryer and Air Duct Solutions, a locally owned, veteran-operated business offering fast, reliable duct and dryer vent cleaning services, making your home safer and your air healthier. WIBC listeners save 10% off any service. One less thing to worry about. Go to safedads.net.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Looking for a cozy spot to relax, work, or grab your coffee to go? LC Coffee House in Noblesville, Indiana has you covered. Try our indulgent affogato, a sweet blend of espresso and ice cream. Or sample our coffee flights to discover your perfect brew. In a rush, our drive-thru is ready to serve you fast and fresh. Need a space to collaborate? We offer meeting rooms perfect for co-working. Whether you're grabbing a quick drink or spending the day with us, LC Coffee House is the place to be.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
Big wins for the president at the Supreme Court. I'm Angelo Bavaro, Fox News. President Trump is praising a ruling from the Supreme Court limiting lower court judges from issuing nationwide rulings. Fox's Jared Halpern has more from the White House.
President Trump says the Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law.
Radical left judges effectively tried to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting the policies that they voted for in record numbers.
In a 6-3 opinion, Justice Amy Coney Barrett says district court judges are likely exceeding their authority by issuing nationwide rulings. The case comes from a challenge to President Trump's executive order eliminating birthright citizenship. Justices did not consider the constitutionality of that order. Attorney General Pam Bondi expects the court to take up the merits of that challenge in the fall. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Supreme Court also deciding that Maryland parents can pull their kids from public school lessons using LGBTQ books.
This brought together a coalition of parents of different religious faiths and backgrounds who said there used to be a rule in this particular school district that would let them know when there were books that dealt with issues that may be in conflict with their religious faith. Well, so many parents were opting out that the school board and the school district quit doing it. Well, 6-3 today in a decision by Justice Alito, they said these parents have earned at least a preliminary injunction. So while this case plays out, they said the board has to notify them about a book that's in question or anything similar so that their kids can be excused if it's in conflict with their faith. The dissent by Justice Sotomayor, joined by Justices Kagan and Jackson, says today's ruling threatens the essence of public education.
Guatemala's president pushing back against comments from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Noem and Arevalo met Thursday in Guatemala. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Missing since Saturday, her family would like her back. The thunderstorm complex that promised to provide some rain to cool us down this afternoon has kind of broken apart and avoided Indy proper. It is affecting Lebanon and Noblesville and Greenwood with some stronger storms that way. 91 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Hendricks County Sheriff's Department Lieutenant Jeffrey Hughes says 41-year-old Julia Frederick last contacted her family Saturday with a text and a note saying she was going camping on the family property near North Salem.
Nothing in it was alarming or out of the ordinary or would give us any indication that she was doing anything other than camping.
Hughes says deputies, volunteers, bloodhounds, and cadaver dogs have been searching the area of County Road 900 North for 2 days and have not found the woman who is believed to be in danger and possibly needing her meds.
If anyone out there has any information they believe would be useful, to please contact the Hendricks County Communications Center.
Big Beautiful Bill trouble. You may have heard that the Big Beautiful Bill is being rewritten. Here's what some Hoosier lawmakers think and how it could affect you. John Herrick reports.
Some like the bill and some don't. Indiana Republican Senator Jim Banks says there's lots to like in it.
Like the work requirements on Medicaid. You shouldn't sit at home if you can work and get free Medicaid. You should be in the workplace. There's $175 billion to secure the border and for mass deportations.
Also, Indiana Republican Congresswoman Erin Houchin in the House saying this week that the bill isn't perfect, but it's a start to getting America back on the right financial track.
Lawmakers in both states have actually been looking into this for years. A new law on the Indiana side that goes into effect Tuesday forms a commission to see about adjusting the Illinois-Indiana border. Under the law, a commission with 6 members from Indiana and 5 from Illinois would look into it. The big barrier is that there's no new law in Illinois that favors the commission. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, checking the construction and southbound 6570 to make it from the north split down to South Keystone Avenue. It's 44 minutes. Here's the deal. There's a crash before South Keystone Avenue. It blocks 2 left lanes. That has us stopped into the south split. And, of course, that's through construction, jamming us up back to the north split. Westbound 70 really tight right now, coming in from rural into the north split. There's a stall on the exit ramp from eastbound 70 on the east side to Rural Street. That ramp is open. It is partially blocked. Eastbound 72 downtown from the west side, 6 minutes Belmont to the south split. West side crash. Southbound 465 between Washington and Sam Jones. 2 right lanes are blocked. Traffic is stopped back to Rockville Road, delayed 8 minutes. Eastbound 465 stop and go traffic Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Boone County southbound 65 slows after State Road 267 down to West 79th Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hot and humid once again today. We'll see a spotty afternoon shower or thunderstorm. 92 today with feels like temps into the triple digits. That heat advisory expires at 8 p.m. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
Hey, I'm Nigel. Jeff Boggs in for Hammer. Jeff Boggs is a lifelong Hoosier, wrote for the David Letterman show for a number of years, moved out to L.A., was a producer there for TV. He is filling in for Hammer. And you brought up to me today that Trump is having a great week. I mean, like literally sweeping the Supreme Court rulings. We're talking the end of the abuse of these judicial supremacy injunctions, these tiny little judges in nowhere towns.
Right.
If Donald Trump signs an executive order, then these lobbyists will find a judge somewhere to say, no, hold on, can't do that. They got the Supreme Court allowing South Carolina to defund Planned Parenthood when we're talking about Medicaid. The decision to uphold the ban on sex change procedures for Tennessee minors. These all have sweeping implications, and an argument could be made, a pretty good appearance at NATO, Jeff Boggs.
Yes. Well,
There in
that
the
resulted in
Netherlands.
him being called Daddy.
Yes.
And what my favorite
Yeah.
part of that whole thing was Marco Rubio. Did you see Marco Rubio standing in back of Trump? He lost it.
Let me play. I think this clip is what had this. This is the no. We'll start with the NATO chief calling Trump Daddy at NATO.
They're not going to be fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. They fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them
Talking
fight
about
for about
Russia and
2-3
Ukraine.
minutes. Then it's easy to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes use strong language
You have to use strong.
Daddy.
Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word.
The guy called him Daddy. The executive chief of the executive secretary of NATO
Maybe
called him Daddy.
Maybe that would be a good name for our podcast, Nigel. Call Me Daddy. Is that
Isn't there a
taken?
country song called "Don't Call Me Daddy"?
Oh, I think there's a podcast. Isn't there a
Okay.
famous one called Call Me Daddy?
I have no idea, but
Yes, there
Donald Trump was asked about the executive guy here, the leader of NATO, calling Trump Daddy.
From Sky News. Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you Daddy earlier. Do you regard
That's when
your NATO
Marco
allies
Rubio
as
was
kind of
cracking
children?
up in the
He likes
background.
me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know.
Marco
I'll come
Rubio's
back and I'll hit
doubled
him
over
hard,
right
okay?
there.
No,
But do you
he did it
It's
very affectionate.
hilarious.
Daddy, you're my daddy.
Now, the same reporter asked the NATO chief, why did you call President Trump Daddy? Very sort of accusatory. It's kind of trying to humiliate him a little bit. Here is that question and how the Secretary General responded from NATO.
Thank you. Deborah Hayes from Sky News. Hello. The language that you have used when talking to Donald Trump has been notable because of its flattery. Today you called him Daddy. You sent a text message to him that was gushing with praise. Is this the way that you feel you have to act when doing business with the US president, through flattery and praise? Isn't it a bit demeaning, and doesn't it make you look weak?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a bit of a question of taste, but I think he's a good friend. And when he is doing stuff which is forcing us to, for example, when it comes to making more investments, would you ever think that
Yeah,
this
so
would be the
basically, he
result of
blew
this?
her off and said, no, I'm complimenting the guy. It was a joke. You don't get the context.
Isn't it kind of
Lady.
BS though that British people can just ask questions, and because of how they sound?
Yeah, it's all prim
it's like,
and proper.
Oh, she must be smart because she pronounces it flattery.
But basically, the Allies committed to invest 5% of their GDP annually on core defense requirements. When Trump, that's been Trump's whole thing since he's been president. The first time and the second time, he just wants everybody to spend more. And he just wanted 2%, but he got a 5% commitment, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's an underreported story.
Underreported
It
story.
just adds on how great this week has been for President Donald J. Trump.
Well, it was great for Luke Bryan last night at the, what was it, the CMA Fest? CMA Fest. Did you watch? That was the #1 rated show last night.
It was, okay, so it was basically the 4 days of the concert in Nashville.
Yes.
And it was the best of and all the stuff. And it's like, man, you know my thoughts on this. I'm just
don't like Luke Bryan. You're a country music fan, but you're not bro country, and you've been blocked by Luke Bryan.
He did block me, yeah. We had a dust up. But I just, I know there's talent out there, and I'm not going to sing. Nigel, I told you I may sing. I'm not going to sing. But I know there's talent in country music.
You're not going to sing.
Well, I was going to make fun of Luke Bryan. I was going to maybe Allison play it a little bit, but I was gonna say how stupid all his songs are.
You're gonna encapsulate Luke Bryan
because his songs are all like written by like a 5-year-old boy. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I'm sitting in my truck, drinking lots of beer, eating chicken, heading down to the lake, sitting and a drinking and a eating lots of chicken with my bros, looking for some tan legs. That's it. That's
Can you use the word obese? Keep going. Maybe incorporate some words like obese.
If I eat too much chicken, I'll get obese, but I don't care because I'm driving down to the lake where I'm sitting in my truck, drinking lots of beer, and I'm eating some chicken down by the lake, hoping for some honeys to come up to me and start shaking it. Ooh, it's just gross. That to me is country music right now. I don't know what song that was, but it sounds...
That's a hit is what it was.
Yeah, it just sounds like Luke Bryan. I don't see who the people are who love that stuff now, but I don't love it, and I'm sorry I sang it. And
no, I'm glad you did, and I'm sure Matt Bear has some lyrics to add as well. Matt Bear, what is going on with traffic?
Yeah, Nigel, Jeff, looking at the west side here, we now have a full closure of 465. It's southbound 465 shut down after Washington Street because of a serious crash, and traffic is stopped all the way back to Crawfordsville Road. Again, southbound 465 closed between West Washington Street and Sam Jones Expressway on the west side, jammed to Lafayette Road. Through the construction zone, south of downtown, bad crash, southbound 65 shy of Keystone Avenue. This has 2 left lanes blocked. We're stopped all the way back to the north split for a delayed time of 50 minutes. Westbound 70 now stop and go because of the crash from Emerson Avenue into the north split. Eastbound 70 from Belmont to the south split is on a 6-minute delay. East side, southbound 465 loaded from 72-74 and a crash with injuries on the northwest side, Michigan Road north of 71st. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Keeping an eye on the weather. 89 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center coming up next. What are chick flicks that guys secretly love? Jeff Boggs spills his guts. That's next on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial, retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking
prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105,195. Nautilus MSRP 60,195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Downtown Indy's Fourth Fest, presented by UA Local 440 on the Indiana War Memorial Grounds, kicks off with a street party featuring live music, a kids zone, great local food, and more 6 to 10 p.m. Then fireworks with an amazing grand finale thanks to the Indiana Fever and WNBA All-Star Committee.
The street party is brought to you by Indiana Donor Network and Donate Life Indiana. One organ and tissue donor can save 8 lives and heal 75 more. Sign up at donatelifeindiana.org and talk to your family about your decision.
For more info, go to downtownindy.org.
Pat Sullivan here. Have you heard about impact-resistant shingles? They're the smart choice for protecting your home from harsh weather. And here's something you may not know. Most insurance companies offer discounts on your premiums if you install them. At the Michaelis Corporation, we offer top-tier Category 3 and Category 4 impact-resistant shingles that stand up to the toughest storms. From hail to high winds, these shingles offer a 30-year warranty that stands by their durability. And when a weather event hits, don't worry. Let Michaelis perform a free inspection of your property to ensure everything is in top condition. We don't inspect the roof at ground level. Our experts will safely climb onto the roof to check for damages. Roof, gutter, siding, windows are all inspected for storm damage. Michaelis Corporation provides over 35 years of disaster restoration. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel, Jeff Boggs. You can find him on social media at Not Kenny Rogers. If you're looking for a reason to drink tonight, Jeff, Dick the Bruiser, born on this day in 1929 in Delphi, Indiana. Are you familiar with Dick the Bruiser?
I am. I was a big Dick the Bruiser fan. It's a little before my time, but as a fan of wrestling, Dick the Bruiser was about as big as you could get, especially here in the Midwest, right?
Well, I found this clip. Didn't Letterman name his band after the Bruiser's nickname?
The Bruiser's, Dick's nickname was the world's most dangerous wrestler.
Yeah.
And Letterman named his band the world's most dangerous band.
Here's an old clip of your old boss. David Letty used to write on the Letterman show. Here's a clip of your old boss talking about wrestling and Dick the Bruiser.
Wrestling, perhaps? Wrestling? Exactly.
I think he's talking to Bob Costas here.
Wrestling. Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon with an in-depth analysis.
Bobby the Brain Heenan is from Indianapolis, Indiana, my home city.
Yeah.
And Bobby was involved in wrestling in Indianapolis. He was in the era of Dick the Bruiser, who in the Midwest you couldn't get a better-known wrestler than Dick the Bruiser.
True. Happy birthday to Dick the Bruiser. Who, I mean, boy, I can't believe it took him that long to get involved or inducted into the the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame.
I think it takes a while. It's like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Sometimes people get in, you're like, wow.
Yeah, but
that took a while. You know what I'm talking about?
2021?
Well,
I mean,
maybe he was an acquired taste. I don't know. You know something interesting about Dick the Bruiser? Something probably a lot of people out there don't know.
Give me some Dick the Bruiser trivia, please.
Well, here's a crazy one. He played 3 seasons for the Green Bay Packers.
No, wow, no, would have never come up with that one.
Yeah, he got drafted, and he was like a real Alex Karras and him were friends. Alex Karras, the big Hall of Fame. I think he was a lineman. He went on to play Webster's dad in the show Webster.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I know him, yeah.
Yeah, but they were like, Dick the Bruiser's like a real dude who got drafted, played 3 years in the NFL. He just got inducted in 2021 to the WWE Hall of Fame. That's as big as you get for wrestling.
Here he is. I've just found this on YouTube. I'm going to play this just for the hell of it, being that it's Dick the Bruiser's birthday. There's a radio station in Detroit, Riff Rock, WRIF. Huge. This is the commercial from the 70s, by the way, and it starts out with a disco dancer.
Okay.
And then Dick the Bruiser comes in and just throws him over. He's like they're in a bar just listening.
Excuse me. 1 in 100 Detroiters has the edge of dread. 1 in 100 Detroiters gets dread discounts on albums, clothes, concert tickets, sports, movies, and even food. Now Dread through WRF presents the Gold Card, worth even more discounts at stores.
Okay, so Dick the Bruiser doing an old commercial.
Okay, question for you: Who has a worse voice, RFK Jr. or Dick the Bruiser?
For Detroit, trade in your old card for gold.
Wow.
Wherever you see this sign.
What was his life like? I mean, that guy's sitting here in Indianapolis. Everyone knows him as Dick the Bruiser. He had to have gotten around, right? Like,
oh, please.
Doing some stuff, kind of like you.
Turning it down.
Yes, exactly.
Turning the stuff down.
And your nickname is Dick the Bruiser. That's crazy.
Who stepped down at the Vogue that you've got like a crush on or something?
No, she's a 75-year-old woman. Anna Wintour.
You can't have a crush on a 75-year-old woman?
Actually, I've crushes on women definitely over 70.
Who is she?
You know Anna Wintour, don't you? The head of Vogue.
Oh, sure. You had to give me a minute on that one. I was. Are
you being serious right now?
Yes, I'm being. No, I'm not. Okay. I had no idea who she was. I don't read Vogue.
Did you not see the movie The Devil Wears Prada?
Is that Meryl Streep's character
plays Anna Wintour?
She was
That's who she plays in the movie. She was the Ice Queen of New York.
Yeah, my wife made me watch that with her.
Oh, well.
It wasn't bad.
No, I listen, I will tell you right now. Anyway, she just stepped down after 37 years. She was the head of Vogue, head of a ton of. I mean, she really ran New York. She was a ice queen. That's what people would call her, the Ice Queen. I know Dave used to
misogynistic, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. I guess.
Sexist because she's a boss lady.
What would you have to call it now? Ice person?
That wasn't the road I was going down, but sure.
But she was. I will tell you this. Okay, if your wife made you watch that movie, I happen to think Devil Wears Prada is one of the best movies of this century. I do. I think it was incredible. I think Meryl Streep was amazing.
I'm going to have to watch it again. I mean, I say I'm going to have to watch it again. I will never watch it again, but I'll take your word for it. I've seen it. Don't get me wrong.
Do you hate chick flicks overall? Like, are you just like, I want to watch explosions and girls? Or are there any chick flick movies?
Would you consider like a League of I like a League of Their Own.
You like the movie. You're the one person who likes that movie.
With Tom Hanks,
yes,
who coaches the women's baseball.
There's no crying in baseball.
Yeah.
I did not like that movie. Shot right here in Evansville, correct?
Yeah.
And that's back when Madonna was still Madonna.
Yes. And Rosie O'Donnell was still Rosie O'Donnell.
Well, she hadn't changed a whole lot. I'm going to say that movie produced the worst Madonna song in Madonna's entire catalog. Used to be my playground. I hated that song. I would say League of Their Own is definitely a chick flick.
Okay, so I don't mind it.
So you're okay with that? Let me ask you. Okay, what about Love Actually?
I'll watch that with Lindsay in the holidays. I don't mind it.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I think it's well written. It's got the All I Want for Christmas Is You at the end. What about Notting Hill for chick flicks?
You lost me.
Really?
Is that Hugh Grant?
Yeah, Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant.
You lost me on that one, bud. I don't know that I've even ever. I think I've seen it once, but I couldn't even tell you what it is. It's something British. Is a British backdrop?
He is British.
Yeah.
She's in Britain. She's a big American. She's basically Julia Roberts. And she gets into some kind of controversy, and she ducks into his flat, and they fall in love. You should check out Notting Hill.
That sounds like the worst. I mean, you walk into a movie studio and make that pitch. They're going to throw you out right on their ass.
Really, 1996 Julia Roberts movie with Hugh Grant. You don't turn that down.
They fall in love with each other in his flat.
They do. It's kind of nuts. What about Bridesmaids?
Yeah, who doesn't? Is that a chick flick?
I would think people would define that as a chick flick.
Bridesmaids is a chick flick. I thought it was hilarious.
Great writing, hilarious.
I mean, really, really, really funny. What about Clueless?
Clueless kind of
is that a chick flick, or is that
it's
just
kind of a 90s teen? I think once you get into the teen world, Alicia Silverstone, right? It turns a little into a different genre. I thought it was okay. Hot girls in it. Kind of funny. Same with Mean Girls after that with Lindsay Lohan.
Okay.
What about, let me ask you one, Molly, my girlfriend Molly.
Yes.
She has a movie about her and her life called In Her Shoes.
You've been trying to get me and Lindsay to watch this.
Yeah. Cameron Diaz plays Molly.
This is real.
Yeah. Toni Collette plays Molly's sister, and it's a true story of their life. It's
Molly, your girlfriend.
Yeah. My lovely lady, Molly. It's a chick flick. But you may...
So if I maybe want to try to get with my wife one night and say, hey, we'll watch whatever you want, and we're flipping through and I see In Her Shoes.
Yeah, check that out. Curtis Hanson directed it. He's got directed 8 Mile. Shirley MacLaine.
Really?
Shirley MacLaine.
And this is kind of based on stuff that happened with your wife and surrounding with your girlfriend
significant
and
other,
your significant other and surrounding family.
Yeah, her sister's a big author, and it's kind of about it was a best-selling book. It's good. You should check out more chick flicks. I think that's what we're deciding here. There's some that are very, very good.
At Hammer and Nigel, what are chick flicks that guys secretly love? At Hammer and Nigel. Nick Gilbertson from Breitbart coming up next. We've been talking about how Donald Trump has had a pretty good week, and we're going to do a deep dive on the week that was Donald Trump right after a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The family is asking for your help. Some strong thunderstorms going on in Johnson County and southern Marion County. Also, some storms north of Zionsville, north of Anderson. It's 90 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. 41-year-old Julia Fredericks is missing and may be somewhere on her family property near County Road 900 North near New Salem in Hendricks County.
At this point, she hasn't returned. There's some concerns about lack of food and possible medications that she may need access to. So that's why we did a full court press to try and do everything we could to locate her on the property or on the surrounding property.
Lieutenant Jeffrey Hughes, Hendricks County Sheriff's Department. Her phone is apparently turned off, and so far 2 days of searching with drones, bloodhounds, and cadaver dogs have turned up nothing. In Beech Grove, police there say 3 people are facing auto theft and gun charges. Cops say the 3 were driving a stolen car last night at Emerson and Victory Drive and hit the gas when police tried pulling them over, only to crash when they tried to get through a red light. All of them bailed, all were caught. Some adjustments for child services. Jake McDaniel reports.
It's called the Awaken Project, and it's all about redesigning how things work. Indiana Governor Mike Braun says the goal is to get rid of inefficient middle management and push millions of dollars directly to frontline services like foster care and family case workers. Officials are shrinking Indiana's 18 regions down to just 5. DCS is also hiring more family case managers across all counties across the state. If that interests you, you can find more information on WIBC.com. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, on the west side, here it is. Southbound 465 closed between Washington Street and Sam Jones Expressway. We wiped out 5 cars involved, no semis. It looks like one of these cars had to get water on it. And right now, the interstate is closed in the southbound direction again between Washington and Sam Jones Expressway. Traffic is stopped all the way to I-74 Crawfordsville Road. It shows an 81-minute delay. I'm avoiding all that, exiting in West 38th Street and beginning my reroute from there. Reroute from Crawfordsville Road is posted at Matt in Traffic if you want to check it out. Southbound 65 crash, clear on the south side, still jammed into the south split from South Keystone Avenue, backed up all the way into the north split. This is slowed down westbound 70 dramatically from Emerson Avenue into the north split. Eastbound 70, stop and go Belmont into the south split for a 5-minute delay. Inbound 65, stop and go 29th to Meridian Penn. Northeast side crash on the exit from northbound 465 to northbound 69. That ramp is open. It is partially blocked, slow to Penn Pike. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hot and humid once again today. We'll see a spotty afternoon shower or thunderstorm. 92 today with feels like temps into the triple digits. That heat advisory expires at 8 p.m. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jet Boggs filling in for Hammer. We'll go straight to the hotline, bring on our friend of the show, Breitbart News White House correspondent Nick Gilbertson. Nick, how the hell are you, man?
I'm doing good, Nigel. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Nick, I'm great, man. You're a guy that's been around Donald Trump. You've been in closed-door meetings with Donald Trump. You've interviewed Donald Trump. By all accounts, it seems like Number 47 is having a pretty good week, just sweeping the Supreme Court rulings. NASDAQ and S&P 500 just hit all-time highs. He had a good NATO trip. And then you mix in the Iran stuff, you taking out of the 3 nuclear facilities with those bunker busters. I mean, he's doing very well. It does seem like there's a concerted effort on some of the mainstream media's parts to downplay the success Donald Trump had in Iran. You wrote a story about it at Breitbart.com. Can you maybe just give us the big picture of what you're seeing, especially out of CNN?
Yeah, absolutely. So there was this CNN report from this reporter, Natasha Bertrand, and several others. It's important to note that Natasha Bertrand was in 2020, she worked at Politico. And in the lead up to the election there in 2020, she broke, or rather wrote the story of the 51 ex-intelligence agents, claiming the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation. So that just, and of course, which we know that wasn't. And, even our editor-in-chief, Alex Marlow, listed her as at the number one spot of, Breitbart's of his list of the media's top 8 Hunter Biden laptop deniers a couple of years ago.
Oh, she got the number one crown, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Alex gave her the number 1 ribbon. That's great.
He did. She topped the list. So the key of this report here, what this all centers around, is she and these other reporters were described this by anonymous sources, this preliminary, very early assessment report of the strikes in Iran, and she reported based on that report that some core components weren't destroyed in Operation Midnight Hammer of Iran's nuclear program, and that it likely only set it back a couple of months. Of course, this is in direct contradiction to the Atomic Energy Commission of Israel, what they have said, They said the strikes were, quote, devastating on Fordo and, quote, destroyed the site's critical infrastructure and rendered the enrichment facility totally inoperable, and also said Iran's ability to develop nuclear weapons back for many years to come. So that's, I think, later intelligence that came out that President Trump read out actually at the NATO summit the other day on the heels of this report coming out from Bertrand and CNN. And of course, the next day, Pete Hegseth and chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, held that joint presser where they, really methodically went through, various sources of intelligence from, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, highlighting this Atomic Energy Commission report. And also there was another report as well from, or rather an interview with the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi. He told this French radio station that Iran's nuclear program, quote, suffered enormous damage, and that Fordo, the centrifuges at Fordo were, quote, no longer operational. And that's according to translation, obviously. But so that just all goes to show, how that this report that CNN is citing is extremely preliminary, and more details apparently have emerged since then.
Okay, but Nick, is there another story here? Was this info that this reporter from CNN got, was it leaked? I mean, is this considered leaked info, and could some consider this illegal to be reporting on?
Yeah, well, this was classified information, so the leak itself, Caroline Levitt said yesterday, was illegal. So whoever leaked this to CNN, the FBI is investigating exactly where the leak came from. And again, I don't necessarily, know if Bertrand engaged in foul play, again, because it was she didn't necessarily, and her colleagues, they didn't have the report according to the article. They received descriptions of the report from these people, and so these people are the gatekeepers of the report too. So they're likely cherry picking what information they want to give CNN out of it, what information they don't want to give them, and so forth. So Caroline Levitt said yesterday that the FBI is investigating exactly where this leak came from, because it's a national security issue.
So what do you think the underlying purpose is here with all this? I mean, is this to undermine Donald Trump and Hegseth? I mean, you have a report that essentially says we can't verify anything, but we should doubt what the president says and that he's lying. I mean, that's what I glean from all this.
Yeah, I think this is meant to sow division and try and put forth a narrative that these strikes weren't successful, when in fact, all this intelligence otherwise, from all these top officials says completely otherwise, that they were successful strikes.
Breitbart News White House correspondent Nick Gilbertson, one of our favorites here on the Hammer and Nigel show. You mentioned Trump at NATO. Where was that? It was in Netherlands, right?
Yeah, in The Hague. Yep.
The summit. Trump got everybody. Tell me about his trip to NATO. He had an interaction with Zelensky, and then he got everybody to agree to pay more into spending money on their country's defense. He had a successful trip, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's an extremely successful trip, and on the way there, he brokered a peace deal between Iran and Israel.
Yeah, that's the other thing, the peace deal between Iran and Israel, of course.
Yeah, the guy just moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and he's just taking win after win. But yeah, absolutely, he met with Zelensky. He said afterwards that Zelensky told him that, or he gets a sense from Zelensky that he really wants to see the war come to an end. And that he'd be talking with Russian President Vladimir Putin to try and broker something there. I mean,
wow.
Look, he's gotten he struck a deal between Pakistan and India. Today he's holding Rwanda and Congo at the White House. He's got a ceasefire between Palestine, Palestine and Israel. So he's just on absolute fire, on this front. So this is really the last big one he needs to accomplish here is Russia, Ukraine. So I'm sure he'll be, zoning deeply in on that. And again, like you said, getting these countries to agree to pay their fair share, that's something he's been talking about for 10 years even longer. And that's Mark Rutte, the secretary of NATO there, praises Trump for pushing forth this effort. And I think he, it's kind of funny they were talking about Iran and Israel and President Trump's use of the F-bomb there when he was leaving the White House.
They don't know what the F they're doing, I think, is what the quote is.
Absolutely, yeah. And the general secretary kind of alluded Trump to being daddy in the scenario there, and it was kind of funny. And of course, the White House afterwards they put out this video of of all these clips of Trump at the NATO summit.
Yeah, and it was put to music by it's called Daddy's Home.
Yeah, by Usher.
By Usher, right.
Which I'm sure sent the left into an absolute tizzy because it's a great song. But so yeah, just absolutely masterfully played all the way around, and by the comms team too. So yeah, he's been on absolute fire, and things are looking good here now. We look forward. Things are tracking on the One Big Beautiful Bill.
That was my next question for you. We're speaking with Nick Gilbertson from Breitbart. The Big Beautiful Bill. Where are we at with that? Is it stalled in the Senate? Is it going to be? I'm hearing drips and drabs about how Trump wants it on his desk by the end of next week. Where are we at with that?
Yep, he absolutely wants it on his desk by July 4th. He held a big event at the White House yesterday with workers from around the country, from a wide variety of sectors. You had truck drivers, you had police officers, you had hairdressers, barbers, ranchers there, who all stand to gain from, benefit from either just the tax cuts that get permanentized or get made permanent in this bill, or the various provisions, whether it's border security, whether it's reducing taxes on Social Security, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. And I think that was really, you have these everyday Americans at the White House standing behind the president, flight attendants too, basically sending this message to Congress that we want this passed. Right. And so I think that was a big message that they sent to the Senate yesterday. Borders Czar Tom Homan came up and he had some really strong words for everybody on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, let's get this thing passed. What's taking so long? Let's do this, right?
Exactly. Yeah, he said especially on the border stuff, he's like, look, I'm sick of meeting angel moms and dads. Kids were killed by illegal aliens that shouldn't have been in this country. So this bill would construct, I think, it's like 700 miles of primary border wall, 900 miles of river barrier, just complete, everything that Trump has already began in his first term. And it also would give federal authorities the money and the means to carry out 1 million removals annually, according to the White House. So, that's what's at stake here, and that's what Homan's really talking about, when he wants to see this passed.
Well, Nick, you are pumping out some great stuff at Breitbart.com. This is Nick Gilbertson, Breitbart News White House correspondent. Have a great weekend, Nick, and we'll get another update from you very soon here on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, you have a great weekend too, Nigel. Thanks for having me.
Beer Sample Friday next.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the
active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Don Fisher here for QC Kinetics. I want to share with you the best thing I've done for my knee pain. I've been hearing commercials about the groundbreaking treatments that QC Kinetics offers for months. Meantime, my chronic knee pain had hit an all-time high threshold. I wanted to stay active and enjoy playing golf again without the pain. So I decided to call and book an appointment. And what I found out was that QC Kinetics is the non-surgical solution. I have no knee pain and feel like I did 10 years ago. And it's all because of the non-invasive therapy from QC Kinetics.
Discover the solution to joint pain with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. For a free consultation, call 463-282-6886.
I'm back to playing golf and enjoying life. Take it from me, this is the best call you can make to relieve your orthopedic pain.
For your free consultation, call QC Kinetics today. 463-282-6886. 463-282-6886.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
It's J&V. Save more when you buy more trees and shrubs at Miss M's Home and Garden. Save 10 to 30% at Miss M's. See store for details. State Road 135 in Bargersville.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
Think of it as WIBC on 2x speed. Big opinions, great moments, and just enough chaos. The WIBC Mashup Podcast brings it all together in one fast, fun listen. New episode each weekday. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
Matt Bader's got traffic.
All right, Nigel, full closure on the west side of southbound 465 between Washington Street and Sam Jones Expressway. All 6 lanes shut down right now, including the shoulders. 4 or 5 vehicle crash, emergency vehicles all over the place right now. We are stopped all the way back to Crawfordsville Road and then to west of 38th Street. That's where I'm going to exit, then start my reroute from there. Again, looking at about a 72-minute delay to make it southbound from 38th Street down to the crash site. Looking at southbound 6570, that stop north split down to the south split for a 25-minute delay. Westbound 70 slow from an earlier crash north split back to Emerson Avenue. At inbound 65 stop and go traffic MLK to Meridian Penn. 10-minute delay. Eastbound 70 is cooled off. Looking at the east side, northbound 465 loaded after Penn Pike up to 69 because of a crash on the exit of northbound 69 of northbound 465 to northbound 69. That ramp is open, but it is partially blocked. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We're at 90 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Right now.
Hammer and Nigel present
Beer Sample.
Fry.
I got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
Beers on sale, people. Come down, get you some.
Jeff Boggs in for Hammer Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. I'm Nigel. Jeff is here. I don't know what kind of karma, what I've done in life to deserve this, but we have people that just drop us off random beers.
Oh, nice.
And like this guy named Porch. He's a mail carrier. He's not the official mailman of the Hammer and Nigel show. He's kind of the unofficial mailman.
Who's the official?
The official one is my buddy Justin, who delivers in Brownsburg.
Okay.
Porch is his coworker, but he goes to Florida a lot and brings his Florida beers. So I'm just going to give you one of the ones he gave us there. What do you got? What are you looking at?
I have a strawberry blonde. It's called Ambition. Blonde Ambition.
Okay. Well, that's fitting since we had a segment about chick flicks and.
Sure, I'm drinking a strawberry blonde Ambition now.
Okay, that's and I've got a Florida Orange IPA from Three Daughters Brewing in St. Pete. I think yours is from Sun Creek Brewery in Claremont, Florida.
Okay.
Cheers to the weekend, my friend.
Let's try it. Ooh.
What do you think, man?
Oh, that's pungent. That is a
pungent.
That is a slap of strawberry right there. Wow.
All right, another hour of the Hammer and Nigel show coming up. Don't go anywhere. Lots of stuff. The week that was Donald Trump. May have been the best week of Trump's presidency. Who knows? We'll get to it right after the news coming up at the top of the hour.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group, and this is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more. Lease a new 2025 Toyota RAV4, just $349 per month, or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. So if you've been turned away due to the crowds, come back. This is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Don't miss it on US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. New RAV4s, $349 per month, or new Tacomas, $299 per month. All offers end June 30th. Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, $199 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
We are cleaning out inventory. Save up to 50% off Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, and Flex Steel. And if it's in stock, save up to an extra 25% off. Save up to 20% off Berlin Gardens and Pollywood Outdoor Furniture. And save up to 50% off floor sample mattresses, including Tempur-Pedic. First come, first serve. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Home sales activity is good, not great. So many homes, if improperly marketed, are sitting on the market. Hiring the wrong sales agent will cost you time and money. Hire the expert who maximizes equity and sells fast. The expert realtor I recommend is Mark Dietl. Perhaps you're worried with the challenging market you won't sell your home for the price it's worth. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what John in Greencastle had to say about working with Mark Dietl. I just bought a home in Greencastle. Shortly after, my son moved to the Fishers area, which left me an hour away from family and 45 minutes from work. A big mistake, and I felt stuck since I had been in the home less than a year. I asked the Mark Dietl team for help, and they delivered big. My home sold in 14 days for the price I needed so I could move closer to family and work. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Parents, teachers, school board members, do you want your school to experience the richness of academic freedom or the constraints of a one-size-fits-all federal mandate called Common Core Standards? Advocates for Academic Freedom is for educational excellence and local control of your school. Come join the fight for your children's education. You can contact us at advocatesforacademicfreedom.org or call 1-715-234-5072.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat